What's up this afternoon, everyone? Welcome. Fine Tuesday to you all. Good to see ya. What is up, Dylan Hunter? It's our donuts, McIntyre, Coin Bob, Slitty, City Smacker, Lucid. How is everyone doing today? Hopefully everyone is having a spectacular week. Yes, we are going to be doing some detective Hollow Winning. I love Hollow One decks. I have loved them forever. Ever since they were like a cool budget deck right after Hollow One came out. So I am really hyped to see if this new build, why can I not hover on cards? But I'm hyped to see if this new build can actually work. Plus, we get to play all the classics. We still have Burning Inquiry. We still have Goblin Lore, the spin it to win it aspect. So I am really hyped to see how new Hollow One does. However, before we get to Hollow One, we got a whole new Commander Precon, and I have not looked at these cards yet. I figured they just popped up a few minutes ago, so I figured I'd just wait and we'd look at them together. I don't know, some people are saying, what do you think of this deck? How is the new deck? Is the new deck good? Puntologist and Sad News Bears, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big scoop cheer for you. Thank you. Where's our scoop steering? So yeah, the new Commander Precon stuff. First off, I gotta ask you about this card. So they just spoiled a couple of cards. These are not the Commander Precon cards. These are the main set cards. What do you think's stronger, Duskmourn or Kamigawa? Kamigawa was really pushed, but I think Duskmourn is strong too. It's close. It's very close. I think it's very, very close. So they spoiled this card, and I feel like Kona is... This card's busted, right? Am I missing something? When I read this card, I see, like, incredibly busted, like, super duper, really, really good. Sad News Bears, a rock clip, Dog a Myth. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much, everyone. Welcome back to the Fishbowl. Big super cheer for y'all. Thank you. Let's first have Duskmourn make impact on formats before we can compare. Yeah, that's probably the smart thing to do. Kona, this card seems busted. So 4 mana, legendary creature, it's a 4/3. Survival, at the beginning of your second main phase, if it's tapped, you may put a permanent, not even a creature, a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield. I feel like this card is just, like, ridiculously busted. So, okay, here's what when I see this card. We have Omniscience coming to Standard forever in Foundations. We have Portal to Phyrexia. We have Atraxas. We have Atalies. Do you not just build a deck where you, like, play a vehicle, play any saddle creature, and then you just play this, tap it to the vehicle, tap it to the saddle creature, and then just drop the Omniscience into play, like, on turn 3 or turn 4? It seems so... I feel like this is one of the strongest cards in the entire set. Like, I feel like this card could... Like, I'm going to try it all the way back to Modern. I think this has Modern potential. Hey, what's up, Stone Raid? Good to see you. Hopefully you're having a spectacular day. But yeah, I feel like this card is so good. I don't think this is actually good. It's an Elvish Piper problem. The difference is, it essentially has haste, right? So if your plan is to play this and wait a turn and then attack with it, the cards, then it's Elvish Piper. It's pretty bad. What makes me excited about it is the fact that it works while it's summoning sick. So if you have a vehicle on the battlefield, you just play this, or a Springleaf Drum, anything that can tap a creature, you just play this, immediately tap it. If your opponent doesn't have that go for the throw at instant speed right when you play it, the Omniscience is in play. Relic of Legends does it. There's a bunch of different ways to do it. So yeah, that's, I think, the difference. Like, you don't have to wait a turn. It's like if your Elvish Piper could put Omniscience into play and it always had haste, essentially, you don't have to... Convoke does it. There's so many ways to make it good. Let's look at these new... we also got the green enduring creature, Enduring Vitality, 3 mana, your creatures all tap for mana of any color. So Cryptolith Rites seems good. This card, I'm actually excited for this card. Wait, do we have the deck list for the whole Rakdos one? Where's the Rakdos deck list? I looked in the Goldfish article, but I didn't see it. Do we have it somewhere? I know we have the cards up here. Enduring Vitality, I'm excited for this. I mean, in general, I think it's a cool card. Especially excited because I think this might be a missing piece to Valley Stormcaller combo. The Valley Stormcaller, we talked about this before. It's very easy to go infinite with. The problem is, you need to have a bunch of, like, otters or frogs that make mana, and it's not easy. There's just not enough birds or otters or frogs that make mana in Standard. Making all of them make mana, though, I think might make Valley Stormcaller combo into an actual thing. The Enduring Cycle Cycle is one of the strongest parts of the entire set, I would say. I think the Enduring Cycle, the Mythic Overlord Cycle, those are so good. So good. All right, let's look at these new commander cards. So this is from the Esper Miracles deck. So this is the Aminatu deck. What do we actually get in this deck? Are any of these cards actually good? Yeah, I haven't even read them yet. I figured I'd wait and we'd look at them together. So what do we get in this deck? So first off, Soaring Lightbringer, 5 mana, 4/5 flying. Other enchantment creatures you control have flying. Whenever you take a player, create a 1/1 white glimmer enchantment creature token that's tapped and attacking the player. All right, sure, like, whatever, I guess. Like, it's fine. In a deck with a bunch of enchantment creatures, you make more enchantment creatures, and they have flying, and they snowball. I don't know. It seems fillery to me. The Master of Keys. 3 mana, Esper in X for a 3/3 flying. When it enters, put X +1/+1 counters on it and mill twice X cards. Enchantment cards in your graveyard have escape. Each enchantment card in your graveyard has escape. The escape card cost is equal to the card's mana cost plus exile 3 cards in your graveyard. Wow! That is like a ridiculous enchantment commander. If there's one thing we've learned, giving everything in your graveyard escape is ridiculously powerful. It's not going to be as easy to like combo with as like an Underworld Breach because it only works with enchantments, but that is a super solid, really sweet Esper Enchantress commander. Hey Seth, how are you? I was so happy to see Phil play Taniwa. I have a mono blue land destruction deck. Haven't played it for years. I could link you a list if you're interested running in it for Commander Crush. Yeah, I'd love to see the list. Yeah, that was super fun. That was a fun video. If you haven't seen it, Phil and I did a video on the YouTubes where we were playing the worst decks ever. We gave each other the worst decks ever. One involved some Taniwa action. Also, I guess we might as well do our reminders. Check that out on the YouTube. Replay YouTube for all your old streams. A reminder that our sponsor today, Card Kingdom. If you need some sweet Duskmourn cards, or really any cards for that matter, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com/mtdgoldfish. You can get a free goldfish sticker. Just let them know you want one in your order, so they'll hook you up. Yeah, I think the Master of Keys is a really cool commander. I expect it to be pretty powerful. And also just like, it seems fun. Like being able to escape stuff from the graveyard seems fun. Ancient Cellar Spawn. 3 mana, 3/3. Each spell you cast, that's a Demon Horror Nightmare, costs 1 less to cast, so some demon ramp. Whenever you cast a spell, if the amount of mana you spent on it was less than its mana value, target opponent loses life, to equal the difference. That card's super cool. That card's really cool. We've never had that before, right? We've never had something that triggered based on... Wait, oh my god. Oh, is this not insanely busted with the Invoke Elementals? Whenever you cast a spell, if the amount of money you spent on it was less than its mana value, oh my god. Can this see Legacy play? I mean, they just banned Grief. But like, imagine you just play this and like, Grief, hit you for 8. Solitude, hit you for 5. Mirror Enforcer, Bolus's Citadel. Bolus's Citadel is going to be so sweet in Commander. Yeah, that card actually seems... Actually, I mean, I guess if you have Omniscience, you're probably going to win anyway, so you don't really need to have Ancient Cellar Spawn, but my goodness, does that card seem sweet. Force of... Wow. I actually think it might be able to see Legacy play. That's wild. Redress Fate, 8 mana sorcery. Return all artifacts and enchantment cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Miracle it for 4. Okay, so... overcosted reanimation that's efficient if you miracle it. I mean, I guess if you're a miracle deck and you have top and the shenanigans, it's probably pretty good in a deck like this. Meta, yeah, it does work with Villainous Wealth, doesn't it? Leyline by, wow, yeah, this card, if there's one thing Wizards likes, it's cost reduction effect. So I actually think it's kind of really good. Metamorphosis Fanatic. 6 mana 4/4 lifelinking human cleric. When it enters, return up to 1 target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a lifelink counter on it. Miracle it for 2. Oh, wow. Miracle for 2? Wait, and it's a lifelink counter, not a finality counter? That card seems very good too. Man, that almost seems Legacy playable. This deck actually seems very strong. Yeah, if it was finality, it would still be fine, but lifelink counter, that's 2 mana reanimation, and you get a 4/4 lifelinking body if you can miracle it. So the way Miracle works, if you don't know Miracle, I will warn you, if you've never played with it before, it kind of sucks to put it in your deck. Miracle's one of those mechanics that you don't really want to put one Miracle card in your deck, because here's how it works. I got a deck right here. So if you're playing Miracle, the way that Miracle works is it triggers for your first draw for the turn. So you're playing some normal Magic. You draw your card for the turn, and every time you draw, you can't just put the card in your hand. You have to like draw, keep it separate, peek, see if it's a Miracle. If it's a Miracle, you got to reveal it before putting it in your hand, so people know it was the first card you drew for the turn, and then you get to play it for its its Miracle cost. First card each turn. That is true. So if you like brainstorm on your opponent's turn, the first card that you hit would be a Miracle. Also, it gets even clunkier when it comes to like brainstorms when you're drawing 3 cards. You gotta like keep the first one out. So it's fine if you're playing a Miracle deck, because then you just get used to always checking your card. But putting like a single Terminus in your commander deck is kind of awkward because then you gotta peek at every card in the off chance it's the one Terminus. Oh, thank you, Gwadji. Hey, what's up, Rucker? How are you? I know people hate alchemy, but man, do I love the cards that gives offspring to other creatures. The Coco one and the 2/2 bear with the set mechanic. That does, yeah, it seems like such a fun mechanic. I feel like that's a mechanic that you could almost find a way to make that work in standard, I think, or like at least in paper. Phenomenal Investigators. How are you, by the way, Rucker? Phenomenal Investigators, 4 mana, 3/4. When it enters, choose Believe or Doubt. Believe, whenever a non-token creature you control dies, create a 2/2. Okay, combo potential. Doubt, at the beginning of your end step, you can bounce a non-land permanent you own to hand. If you do, draw a card. Okay. I mean, that's fine. That's fine. One of the better human detectives that we've seen. The deck list. Ooh, where's this? Someone link me the deck list and we'll look at it real quick. Or is it up on, is it in our article? Did we get it? Do we? Oh, it is up. Okay, we'll pull it right up. Secret Arcade Dusty Parlor. Non-land permanents you control are permanent spells in addition to their non-land permanents you control, and permanent spells you control are enchantments in addition to its other types. Okay, so everything's an enchantment. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, put a number of +1/+1 counters equal to the spell's mana value on up to one target creature. Wait, whenever you cast an enchantment spell, put counters equal to its mana value? I mean, that actually seems like kind of a strong enchantment card. My goodness, I wish that was going the other direction. Secret Arcade Dusty Parlor. I do not get the reference of Secret Arcade Dusty Parlor. What is the reference? And the other one, Cramped Vents. Whenever you unlock this door, the room deals 6 damage to a creature an opponent controls. You gain life equal to the damage dealt this way. So 4 mana, 6 damage, and then once during your turns, you may cast a spell from your hand by paying life equal to its mana value rather than paying it. That side is busted. My goodness. Hey, what's up, Babs? How are you? Good to see you. I feel like these cards are all really strong. Hey Seth, I've been using Ilharg to one-shot the last few years. Feels good to sneak and pioneer thanks to Generator Servants. Any chance it comes to Arena so we can jam it and explore? Ooh, man, I remember playing a deck like that. Yeah, we need Generator Servant, don't we? That's the piece that we're missing. I mean, Carnosaur is a nice upgrade for that deck too. It has gotten some new pieces. Ilharg can do some crazy things when you get it going. If you can haste it in, so much value. That looks super sweet. So yeah, I think this set, one other thing about this set, and then we're going to play Hollow One. This card made me think of it, and I really wanted your feedback, because I want to know if I'm off base on this. So chat, and it's not about black enchantment removal. I know. Y'all know how I feel about that. I am willing to be the old man yelling at the clouds about black enchantment removal. Everyone else might be fine with it. That's perfectly fine. I'm never going to like it. I don't think 10, 20 years from now, I'm still going to be like, I really don't think black should have enchantment removal. So I'll be the only one. That's fine. Are you a fan of Selesnya Angels in Pioneer, considering building the shell? Yeah, I've played it a bit. And it is a pretty powerful deck. If you like Angels and you like aggro, I think it's a pretty reasonable deck. Urborg on Arena would be sweet. I actually found you can kind of use the World Tree. It doesn't work in Brawl because of color identity, but in like Pioneer, the World Tree is kind of like bad Urborg. But here's my question. It's not about black enchantment removal. It's about the humans and survivors in this set. So I've been thinking about this set a lot, and I love this set. Has some of my favorite art that Wizards has done in literally years, in a decade, like Abhorrenoculus, Velgavoth. There's the horror art of like the creepy monsters, I think is S tier. It is so incredibly good. Like, really, honestly, in my opinion, some of the best art that they have made. Grievous Wound, like Fear of Missing Out, the ley lines even, like all the creepy bad guy art is so incredibly good. On the other hand, it struck me today that I think I kind of hate the art of the humans and the survivors. I feel like they're so cheesy. Like Reluctant Role Model, Nashi. What was the one from today? It was Essence Tracker. They all seem like they're 80s high school kids that are at a house party. They're in a literal house of horrors, an infinite house of horrors, the house that never ends, with Velgavoth in Marvin the Murderous Maniac, in some of the creepiest magic characters we've ever seen. And they're all just like, they're all doing good, kind of like walking around on their phones with their big walkie-talkies. It's so, I think it's the clash of it. I think it's the clash of it is like, I don't know. The bad guys in the set, or like the monsters in the set, are like so creepy and like adult or whatever. Like they seem like actual creepy characters, but then the human survivor characters in the set are like just this cheesiest, like, ugh, which maybe it's on flavor for a horror themed set, but I'm starting to wonder if like the 80s tack or like the hockey stick is that the cowboy hat from Outlaws of Thunder Junction? I think it's that. I think what gets me, like, I can deal with the cheesiness. They just don't seem very afraid or anything. Like, they don't look, I don't know. I feel like they should be more beaten down and afraid looking, when they all look like they're just kind of, I don't know, like at a house party, sort of. They don't look like, for being in a literal house of horrors with Velgavoth and like this super scary stuff, they're always kind of like, doo-doo-doo. Life is good. How's your homework going? We still doing that sleepover on the weekend? But I don't know. It just struck me today that the survivors, they should be a little more horrified. They might be a little bit more horrified. When is your next unboxing video? Are you going to buy another eBay action lot? Probably. So, I mean, there will definitely be a Dustmore unboxing video, I believe. There will be more eBay / Goodwill ones. It's just a matter of, it's tricky to find those collections. I wish it was easier. That's the choke point when it comes to the collection channel. It's not making the videos. I love opening collections, and like I love making them. So that's not the issue. The issue is just finding good collections for it. I feel like I could get like, I can just go to eBay and buy a random collection and open it, but I feel like the quality of the collection plays into it, like having something that's interesting about it, or older cards, or something like that. So, but more will be coming. Roarix Venture for the 50th month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. Does anyone else think the alternate art on a Reluctant Role Model kind of looks like Crim? Let's pull this up. Showcase version. Ooh, yeah. I mean, needs bluer hair, or like some sort of hair dye. But I can kind of see it a little bit. Like if this was Esper colored hair and he was wearing like a Pokemon onesie, it would be kind of close. So Black can destroy all permanent types now, right? Enchantments, planeswalkers, artifacts, lands. So I mean, Black, okay, so I guess I have to address Black enchantment destruction real quick, but I know some people don't want to hear this, but I guess I gotta address this super quick. So just so it's clear, Black has had an enchantment destruction for a minute now. It's had it for a minute, and we're gonna play some Hollow One here momentarily. Feed the Swarm was the first great Black enchantment destruction spell. That was the first great Black enchantment destruction spell. And its existence on Zendikar Rising, which was what, 2020, 2021? So it's been a few years. The new one is roughly another Feed the Swarm. I would say if you're building a commander deck, I think it's better than Feed the Swarm. Slightly better. I think, so it's one more mana, but instant speed and you lose less life. So I think if I could only put one in my commander deck, I would put Withering Torment over Feed the Swarm. So in some sense, for 60 card Magic, it really doesn't matter. For Commander, this is going to be an ultra staple. Like, Feed the Swarm is the 4th most played black card. It is Demonic Tutor tier in Commander for black decks. So it's going to see a ton of Commander play. Like I said, I don't think black... I have not heard a convincing argument for why black needed to kill enchantments. No one has given me a convincing argument for why that needs to happen and why that's a good thing. And it's been 4 years now, and I still have not heard a convincing argument for that. So for now, I will stick to my position of not liking it. Ultimate Guard, thank you for the raid. If you have an argument for why it's good, I would love to hear it. Because, so the argument I hear, what comes up is, so there were 3 colors that can kill artifacts, but only 2 colors that could kill enchantments. So it was imbalanced, and we need to fix that imbalance. I don't really understand, though, why that was an imbalance that needed to be fixed, or why it only comes up in regards to black enchantment destruction, because I think the color pie is unbalanced in many different ways. There's lots of things that, like, only one color can do. Because I think the color pie... Double Seth. So yeah, so I'm not gonna, like, I don't know. I just wish they wouldn't I don't think it's necessary, and I haven't heard a reason that it is necessary. Is it gonna, like, destroy the game or anything? Obviously no. Like, there's already Feed the Swarm. This is a slight upgrade, so it's not the end of the world or anything. I don't like it. Personally, I don't like it. Because the color pie got eaten by Wizard's Design. I only wish the only way black... Yeah, that is the thing, right? So we've had, like... What was the Edict version? Like, Edicts would be good. Initially, when they started doing black enchantment destruction, hey, thank you again for the raid, Philippa. Hopefully the stream went well. When they started doing black enchantment destruction, one of the rules was it can't kill your own enchantments, because they didn't want you out from under your your demonic pact or your necro or something. Like, some of these enchantments that have a drawback in black, but they kind of got rid of that rule as well. My perspective, black used to always just about match white in creature removal, but lately all the colors have caught up with removal, with efficiency of black and white removal, so giving black is no longer the best at killing creatures. It has to do more now like other colors. I think, okay, that makes sense. I think it is definitely true that we've seen like green get removal when it had no removal in the past and so forth. My counter argument would be this, and I think this argument really only holds for 60 card formats, but I view black as being able to answer literally everything thanks to discard. I think that blue and black are unique colors, because blue can answer anything with counter spells, black can answer anything with discard, and I think that if you're a color that has these super flexible answers, like black with Thoughtseize, blue with counterspell, I think it's fair that there's weaknesses once permanents hit the battlefield. Like, you get the upside that you have one card that can deal with anything your opponent might play, but the downside is, if you miss and your opponent manages to slip an enchantment through, or against blue, slip an artifact through, you're gonna have a rough go of it because you got the timing wrong and you messed it up and you should have played differently. So I think it's fair. The problem is, that doesn't really work in Commander, right? Because people can't play targeted discard. And I think that's really what it comes down to. I think what I hear when they do the, like, this is the deck list for the Miracle deck, by the way. When I hear the, like, oh, we needed to fix the unbalance or whatever, I personally, my take is, it's really just a Commander thing. It's really just like mono black Commander players were salty that they couldn't answer an enchantment, so now black gets enchantment removal. I don't think there's any high-minded philosophy behind it. I think it's really just catering to Commander. Talking about color pie, Manifesto does not feel like a mono-green or Simic mechanic. It feels and plays like it should be black or Dimir. Isn't Feast down in like every color though? I don't know. That doesn't really bother me. I mean, that's the other thing too, right? Like, as much as I don't like black having enchantment destruction, I actually dislike that blue gets like a monopoly on stack interaction, or even like, I think you could make that argument about black and discard. Like, I kind of think, and I don't know if we can go back and change it now or if we even should, but I think if we could start over on day one, go back to alpha, I think giving additional color stack interaction would actually be really, really healthy for the game. So this deck list, and then we're going to play Magic, I promise. This deck list seems fine. The mana base seems like a precon mana base. You get a Pain Land in there, I guess. Command Tower, of course. Bounce lands are good. Hall of Heliod's Generosity. What are the other big reprints? Extravagant Replication is actually a cool card. I did not realize it was a $10 card, but it is a cool card. Monologue Task, overrated. Ink Shield, I don't think it's actually the Secret Lair version, but Ink Shield is a... I mean, if you get them with it, it feels really good. It is not as easy to do. I mean, I actually think as far as just buying, I love bounce lands. As far as just buying a deck, I actually think that the Simic one's the way to go. I am shocked that they put a Sai in there. Like, these decks sell for what, $45 now or something like that? The fact that you can, in this Simic deck, you get an Asai that was close to $50 not that long ago, now under 40 since it's been reprinted, and an Ashaya, which is like 15-ish dollars, that essentially pays for the deck by itself. The best I can figure is when they were creating these decks, it was probably in here somewhere, right? Like, because they work a year or two ahead. Maybe it's shorter with precons, but I imagine when they were creating this deck, Asai was under $20, and it was like a $15-20 card, and then they put it in the deck and it spiked up to $40. But the end result is a really valuable deck as far as reprints, even if it might not have been intentional, because usually they don't put $40 cards in precons. But that makes the Simic deck a really solid buy. Is this just underpowered out of the gate? Deck value power, new player trying to pick up one of the four, but so far Jump Scare and this are kind of mid to me. So Exile, I will say, and then let's talk about this deck and we'll start playing our games and we can talk about more as we go along. So I will say Commander precons are definitely not the most powerful decks. Like, that's not really the goal. However, if you're a new player, they're kind of perfect for you. That's what they're supposed to be. Is like, if you're a new player, you can pick up one of these and play it right out of the box and have fun with it and have like a functional deck. But to be like an optimal deck, you're going to need quite a few upgrades. So I think the power level of these decks, they seem about like the normal precon to me. So this is kind of what I would expect from a precon. There's some variance, especially with like some Universes Beyond sets. Sometimes they really push those precons more. But in general, yeah, they're not like super busted decks or anything, but they seem like fine, solid precon decks. They did put it. Wait, what tutor did they put in the Esper deck? I totally missed that. Usually they don't put any tutors in Commander precons. Okay, what is this tutor? Pick up the Warhammer precons. Those ones slap. Those are, yeah. So when I first saw those, I thought, oh, Moonblast Clark, that's a good card. Let's use even some Pioneer plays still. So when they printed the Warhammer decks, I said that they were the best precons they ever made. And I think at the time they were, and I still actually believe that. But then I think it's actually partly Universes Beyond, because the Lord of the Rings ones were also really good. So I think it's partly because Universes Beyond's precons get all new art that it makes it easier to put way more new cards in it. So I think that's why Universes Beyond just tend to be better. You say Jump Scare is the best value of the two so far. I've been rocking Party Time precon with some upgrades. Yeah, Jump Scare just has like a $40 or $35 now card in it, which kind of just pays for the deck. Like, one of the things I look for with precons, there used to be, if you're an old timer, you might remember True Name Nemesis, that was actually worth more than the entire precon deck. So you could go to the store, buy a Commander precon, you could sell the True Name Nemesis and have the other 99 cards in the deck. And True Name wasn't even especially good in Commander, so you could just get the deck essentially for free. You could replace the True Name with whatever random card and just have this entire deck by selling the True Name Nemesis. So I think you can kind of do the same thing at current prices with the Simic deck, just because that one card is a size worth so much money that essentially can just pay for the entire deck, and then if you sell that or trade it, you get the rest of the cards very close to free. UB decks have less reliance on having to include reprints, so Wizards is more free about making the deck that fits, not the amount of reprints. I think that's very true. The True Name Nemesis story makes me miss MSRP. Yeah. Although it actually led to some disasters. Like, it was they sold out because everyone knew, even if you didn't want the deck, if you went to a Walmart or a Target or a game store and you saw the deck, it was correct just to buy it because it was like just plus money. It was like an infinite money glitch. So if you ever saw it, you should just buy it and sell the True Name Nemesis and like pocket $10 or whatever. So it made it sell out, and then people who wanted to play with it couldn't get it, and it was like kind of a mess. Although I also do miss MSRP. Anyway, so what is the goal of this deck? deck. We're playing some Hollow One, but the new and maybe improved Detective Hollow One. So if you don't know Hollow One, it is one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite cards. We've played this ever since it came out. We played in a budget deck. At one point, there was a brief moment in Modern where Hollow One was the hotness. It was like legitimately one of the best decks in the format. This was like, oh my god, like 6 years ago, a very long time ago now. But Hollow One is a 5-mana 4/4, except it costs 2 less to cast for each card that you've cycled or discarded this turn. So our deck has a bunch of ways to make Hollow One free. Like turn 1, we can Burning Inquiry. Each player draws 3 cards, discards 3 cards at random. That's enough to make Hollow One free. We have Goblin Lore. You draw 4, then discard 3 at random. That makes Hollow One free. We can also like cycle Street Race. So we have all these ways to reduce the cost on Hollow One. So plan number one, spin it to win it with Burning Inquiry, spin it to win it with Goblin Lore, hit our Hollow Ones, play a bunch of stuff really fast, hopefully use them to smash our opponent to death. The new addition to the deck, the biggest new addition, is Detective's Phoenix. Detective's Phoenix, we actually want to discard because we can bestow it by collecting 6 evidence from the graveyard, and it gives the enchanted creature +2/+2 flying and haste. So we can do all of our Hollow One shenanigans, but now we can just put Detective's Phoenix on the Hollow One and start smashing in for a ton of damage in the air. We also have Nethergoyf, which is pretty good in this deck because we can play it from the graveyard, and we're getting a ton of cards in the graveyard with all of our random drawing and discarding. So that's essentially the goal of the deck. Hollow One, get it down quick, smash your opponent to death. The other thing I'm excited about is a Reign of Gore in the sideboard. Reign of Gore. 2-mana enchantment. It says, if a spell or an ability would cause its controller to gain life, that player loses that much life instead. Why would we be playing Reign of Gore in Modern in 2024? And the answer is, if you look at Modern, right now, the best deck in Modern is Energy. And if you look at the Energy decks, the key cards in the Energy decks are Guide of Souls and also Ocelot Pride, these life gain synergies. So you see like Guide of Souls gaining so much life, the Ocelot Pride triggers, makes tokens that gain even more life. In theory, if we just stick a Reign of Gore and our opponent plays a Guide of Souls, they probably end up killing themselves with the damage as they would be gaining life instead of killing us with it. So very excited to see if Reign of Gore is actually going to be good tag in the current Modern meta. Remember, Reign of Gore does not work with Lifelink. That is true. Lifelink, so Reign of Gore, it's such a weird quirk of the rules, but it's specific, the wording's so awkward. So it actually, the reason it doesn't work with Lifelink is it was made before Lifelink was a thing. So it worked with the version of Lifelink that they had at the time, which was when a creature deals damage. It was a triggered ability that would make you gain life. So it worked with the cards at the time, but then they made Lifelink, and Lifelink isn't a spell or ability, so your opponent can still Lifelink you through a Reign of Gore, and it does nothing, which is super awkward. I'm gonna restart. Avert your eyes, chat. Avert your eyes. Oh, the desktop's not that bad. Look at that. We're doing good. For spoiler season, we're doing pretty good. That's like half empty. I'm just gonna restart Moto because it's kind of lagging, then we'll jump into it. It is weird that it doesn't work with life. So Lifelink, what is the correct term for what is the correct term for what Lifelink is? I love me some Worms Armageddon. Oh my goodness. Also, I don't know how many of you play how many of you have played Civ 6? I'm curious how many of you played Civ 6. I had the funniest. I decided because Civ 7's coming out. So I decided, it got me thinking about Civ again. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do some Civ 6ing. So I fired up a game of Civ 6. If you don't know Civ 6, this is probably not going to be funny to you, but I was playing Koopy, so you start out in the middle of the ocean, and one of the wonders in the ocean is the Bermuda Triangle, and what the Bermuda Triangle does, if you go into it, it just transports you to a random part in the map, and this is the beginning of the game, so you can't really see the map at this point, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to just take my settler through that Bermuda Triangle, we'll see what happens. Somehow, it transported me to this little 2 hexagons of ocean trapped within all this ice, which means I literally can't do anything this entire, like, I guess you could wait until for thousands of years for the ice to melt eventually and then try to play the game, but literally I didn't even know it was possible that they would teleport you to to a literally unusable area. Oh goodness. All right, let's do some Hollowwooding. I'm gonna have to try Civ 7. The thing about, here's my experience with Civ games. In Civ is my, oh, I think I saw that Spiffing Brit video. Yeah, if you want to watch Civ YouTube, that was Civilization 6. Yeah, Spiffing Bit and Potato McWhiskey, probably my two favorite YouTubers for Civ. What normally happens with Civ, I am excited for Civ 7, but my experience with Civs are when they release a Civ, it usually is pretty medium. And then as they keep updating it and putting the DLC into it, eventually it becomes really, really good. Like one of the best games going. So my immediate expectations for when they drop Civ 7 are tempered, because I know it's almost like Arena. You know how we do early access day or release day on Arena, and we like kind of cross our fingers that Arena's going to work because it crashes so much? It's kind of like that. I kind of expect when they release it, it's going to be still need a little tuning, still need some features added, and then it'll end up being, and once you add the DLC, and then it has a very big modding community. So once you start adding DLC and like mods, then it becomes so good. Like overall, Civ is the only game that I love as much as Magic. Yeah, there's some really interesting new mechanics in Civ 7. I didn't play Civ 3. I don't think. If I did, it was so long ago. I definitely played a ton of 4 or 5 in 6. For a while, I wasn't sure if I was even going to switch to 6. I was a Civ 5 believer for a long time, even after 6 came out. That would be fun to do a Patreon game. I've never really played multiplayer Civ. I've always just played solo, but I know you can do some cool stuff like that. Yeah, what did you think of the anti-game? I thought the anti-game was really fun. What is the other one that's like Civ? I haven't played Humankind. Can we keep this? Probably. So we turn 1 DRC. Turn 2, spin it to win it. Yeah, all right, let's go. It's a hollow one hand. It's gonna be fine. Yeah, I got the worst end of that game for sure. It wasn't foil, thankfully, but still, I got wrecked. No, we're all going to MagicCon Vegas the end of next month. So we're all exchanging the anti cards there. Let's just take a mountain. DRC, go. Have you ever played Binding of Isaac? There are a few Magic references in the game. I know the creator really likes Magic too. I haven't. I know of it, but I've never actually played it. I probably should, though. Do you think Abhorrent Oculus could be played in Pioneer Phoenix as a backup win con, or does the cost eat up too much of your resources? Oh, we'd really love to draw land here. A land would be super great. Oh, all right. Well, Magic Gods, be good. Spin it to win it. Burning Inquiry. Don't discard the hollow one. Also, don't force it. I'm helping you, opponent. I'm filling your graveyard for your Murktides. We're friends. Come on now. Force a negation. Pitching counterspell. Miss our land drop. Cry. Oh, dirty control players. Any chance of another Chat GPT build our deck list episode this season? Kind of curious to see if it's gotten better. Something like that is a possibility. It might be with a bit of a twist. But yes, there is the possibility of something along those lines. Was thinking of trying to do like maybe something like Chat GPT versus Fiverr versus the other ways that you can have decks built. Yeah, missing the land drop ended up being a bit of a problem here. I guess we should have played this DRC first. Wow, Bowmaster's on top. Well, okay, I'm glad we didn't play the DRC first because then it just dies to Bowmasters. Man, all right, well, pass the turn. Oh, what a... Man, we really needed that Burning Inquiry. Getting that hit by the Force, absolutely brutal. Bowmaster seems really rough to deal with when playing this deck. I mean... Okay. Ideally, we're doing the big thing so fast that it's not a deal breaker, but yes, it is very annoying if we don't have that happen. Like, in theory, we should have a Hollow One and a Dragon Rage Channeler that's a 3/3 on the battlefield, and our opponent's at like 6 life or something. That's where we should be now. Instead, we're on the no land, opponent counter all of our stuff plan. Hey, Seth. I was watching some old Commander Clash videos. Why did you guys stop bringing in guests? Any chance of bringing them in as substitutes? So we did a guest season at one point where the whole gimmick of the season was a guest every episode. Other than that, we've never really done a ton of random guests. We'd have like hopefully a backup player, usually whoever's not on that season to... Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Well, okay. Dragon Rage Channeler. We know they have another Bowmaster because the Mishra's Bobble actually kind of paid off. Well, let's play the Bobble. Do a little surveilling. I think the biggest challenge with guests now is just... With doing the paper thing in the setup, people's setups vary a lot, and it makes it hard to... It either puts a lot on the guests to try to get their setup in the way that our setup is, which is a big ask as far as a commitment for them, or you end up with someone who has a very different looking setup that might not line up with the rest of our setups because we tried to kind of standardize them all so it looks the same. It would be super cool to have like Kibler on though. Yeah, the thing is we know they have a Bowmasters. We know they have a Bowmasters, and this Bowmasters is going to keep us from doing much. But not drawing a land also keeps us from doing much, so I guess we will mill it. Doesn't feel good, but I think it's what we gotta do. Yeah, we're off to a not great start, I would say. Well, pass the turn. Oh, the Nightmare Bundle. I think the Nightmare Bundle, if you're thinking of getting a bundle, I think the Nightmare Bundle is worth it. All right, his opponent's going to run out the Bowmasters. Pang and Grew. So I think the Nightmare Bundle is worth it compared to the regular bundle. I think the 2 collector boosters kind of make it. Do you proxy cards to the decks for Commander Clash, or do you own every card? We try to avoid proxying as much as possible. We do proxy when we have to, but in general, it's a matter of getting deck lists and acquiring all the cards. Thankfully, like, a lot of us do have pretty big collections, which helps, and then it's a matter of filling in the gaps. I think that's another good point, too, Smacker, is, like, kind of one of the gimmicks of Clash. I don't think we can crack this Bobble. Man, we are doing so little of anything. Okay. Okay, well, get in there, Dragon Rage Channeler. Hollow One! Why? I mean, I guess it's unfortunate they had double Bowmasters and the Force. And we kept a hand that really needed to resolve that burning inquiry. Opponent, consider. Can you just send in your receipts for new cards you need for Clash and keep the cards? Normally it's a matter of using them and then, well, I guess it kind of depends on the cards. If it's something that we're going to use over and over again, then it's worth trying to keep it around. If it's just a random card for a one-off thing, usually end up like card conduiting. If it's stuff that we're never going to need again, like something to sell them and get some of the money back out of them. Yeah, this is went very different than I expected it to go. Getting the mountain, I guess, maybe was too greedy. I guess we also didn't expect just to get like double bowmaster hard locked either. We might have to crack this bobble. It's gonna grow the dork. Yeah, I mean we gotta hit a land. We're not gonna win without hitting a land. Another force on top. Okay, that should not be good against us, but apparently it is. Pound it. Bowmasters. Pings. We finally drew land number 2. We have done it. We have done it. We have done it. We have done it. We still can't really do... Man, now I wish we had that fatal push. Well, go to combat. I guess it's going to be up to these nethergoyfs to carry. Get in with the DRC. Hit ya. Opponent takes the beats. Blood Crypt, untapped, and Nethergoyf. What? Nethergoyf. Cast. Moto. Hello. Hey, there we go. What about Richard's $10,000? I would actually have to ask Richard. I know Richard has... Oh, really? Oh. Now they get to draw with the Psychic Frog, too? I feel like this should normally be... Well, I don't know. I feel like it should be an okay matchup outside of the fact that Bowmaster's a super obnoxious opponent gets in, hits us. These Goblin Lores mocking us with the Bowmaster sitting out. Opponent gets in, draws with the Psychic Frog. So we know they got a force in hand. Opponent passes. We untap. We draw Blood Crypt. Well, Blood Crypt. Oh, we're just going to die. We're just going to die. Yeah, I think we ran just too clunky. 1, 2, 3. So we can't collect evidence of Phoenix. So the problem is our opponent can give this flying, right? And make it lethal. We can't Goblin Lore because of the Bowmaster. We can't Hollow One because of the Bowmaster. We can play a Nethergoyf, but that doesn't really do anything. Yeah. That orc is second. We got rid of the first one, too. We got rid of the first one. Could not get rid of the second one. This has to attack. Yeah, I mean... It didn't hit ya. We're just dead, though. So we block here. Opponent discards. Yeah, we're just literally dead. I mean, I guess we can make him do it, but... What do you think about Frog in Modern and Legacy? I mean, in Modern, I think it's mostly been fine. In Legacy, I haven't played that much Legacy recently, but from what I've heard from people who play a lot of Legacy, probably got to be, there's a decent chance that it probably ends up getting banned. Like, it kind of slid through this time because Grief is just a ridiculous mistake card, and it was in the same deck as Grief, but a lot of people who really like Legacy and play a lot of Legacy, a lot of people really like it, think that Psychic Frog is still a problem, even without Grief. Yeah, no, it's developed into a ridiculous card. The thing, yeah, it's way better than Psychotog, right? The power of Modern Horizons 3 is kind of ridiculous. Like, the fact that it's +1/+1 counters makes it so absurd. And it's just like in the best colors. It's in the best colors for protecting it. Yeah, it's funny to see how the prices of Modern Horizons shift around as people actually play the cards. Where we end up with... I mean, I guess it looks kind of as expected. I guess Psychic Frog is definitely the biggest gainer. But I remember when we were opening our boxes, like, Emrakul the World, and it was like $60 or like cards like that. And those have ended up falling a ton. But yeah, Frog has definitely been one of the biggest winners from the set. This makes me happy though. Like, for all the legitimate criticisms and right criticisms of Modern Horizons, and there's a lot of it, one thing I will say in favor of Modern Horizons is it has done a really good job of making fetch lands accessible. Like, I don't know how many of you were playing like 10, 15 years ago. Do you remember when there was a time when like, uh-oh, what's going on? What's going on here, Moto? There was a time when where's our game? Oh, there we go. I guess we should sideboard. There was a time when it was like $100 for a Scalding Tarn. It was like $100 to get the blue fetch lands. Shock lands were like 40, 50 bucks a piece. So as much as there's plenty to complain about the negative aspects of Modern Horizons, it really, really, really was good at decreasing the price of fetch lands, which are like some of the most playable cards ever. So seeing fetch lands be like $10, oh, feels so good. So good. Yeah, I've been there. I've been in the paying $80 for a Scalding Tarn spot before. I know the pain. Oh, we need a sideboard. Okay, so how do we deal with Bowmasters? I guess Pyroclasm's in. Go on Pyroclasms. Go down a Street Wraith. Go down an Ox. Thoughtseize could be okay. I feel like that's more for combos. Let's just try it like that. Run it back. Ooh, Flipwalker Tribal. That would be fun. We've done a Planeswalker game before. I mean, we gotta try it. We're on the play. Opponent's mulliganing, trying to find that force. So we can turn one, cycle Street Wraith, Burning Inquiry, hope to hit hollow ones. We could also just like run out a Nethergoyf and try to do it next turn. Dandy Floss for the 37th month. Welcome to the Fish Bowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Almost spooky season. Are we getting a Halloween stream next month? Hopefully, although maybe not because of MagicCon Vegas. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what the actual schedule looks like. But I know we're going to be in Vegas for like a week, and it's going to get in the way of some stuff. So as long as MagicCon Vegas doesn't ruin it, yes. You started to answer my question about Ocelot, Oculus, and Pioneer Phoenix. Then you got distracted. Yeah, so I think the problem is Mother Frogger. It is a card, we're gonna cycle it. Cycle the Street Wraith. It is a card that would work in Pioneer Phoenix. I think the problem, though, you know what? Let's just play it fairly. Let's play it fairly. Let's play the Goyf. We don't have anything to put into play with the Burning Inquiry anyway, so get down the body. The problem is, you can only play so many cards that make you exile the graveyard, and I think that Pioneer Phoenix wants those cards for Treasure Cruise. I don't think it really wants to... spend 6 cards on playing Oculus, because then it's less likely to be able to have those cards for Treasure Cruise. So I think that's kind of the problem. Oh, we gotta do the Christmas stream, the holiday stream. That's a tradition. What's the first commander you're playing for Duskmourn on Commander Clash? Honestly, I was trying to figure that out. Do you have any ideas? Let's just, I think, flash in this Bowmaster now, because we know they have a roughly infinite amount of counter spells. Yeah, let's get on the Bowmaster. Ping, yeah. And also, Bowmaster, pretty good if we can resolve this Burning Inquiry. Probably not going to happen, but if it did, that would be pretty sweet. Combo. It's a combo. Oculus. So Oculus, is it a Abhorrent Oculus? What is the actual name of it? It's a new Duskmourn card. It is a, let's see if I can find it here. Abhorrent Oculus. It is a 3-mana 5/5 flyer that at the beginning of each opponent upkeep manifests dread, but to cast it, you gotta exile 6 cards from your graveyard. So I think it's a very strong card. It's just a little bit challenging to get on the battlefield thanks to all the exiling. Am I on DRC and Bobble? Yes. Maybe it is your list. It's a list from Moto. The player's name who finished with it is on the deck list itself, but I don't know who actually created it. The person who 5-0'd with it or whatever was Selfiski, something like that. Well, let's. Oh, I want to resolve this burning increase so much. Well, let's go to combat. Well, do we attack with both? Attack. I'm worried about their Bowmaster. Let's just get it with the army. Opponent. Gonna take the beats. Well, let's play the theater. Yeah, we probably gotta mill the burning inquiry. Play another Nethergoyf. If our opponent taps out so we know there's not a Bowmaster, okay. Well, now we might cast the Burning Inquiry. Worst case, we want the Phoenix in the graveyard. Thank you, opponent. We want the Phoenix in the graveyard. We don't have to worry about our opponent Bowmastering. It actually seems worth it here. Well, all right, here we go. Cycle Street Wraith. Goblin Lore, Burning Inquiry. No removal on the Bowmaster. Bowmaster's pretty good here. If our opponent has to draw... Oh! They always have it. New around here. Wonder if I'm allowed to ask for deck advice. Yes, that's what we do here. Welcome, Nader. Yes, if you ever want deck advice, card advice, any Magic related topic, welcome for sure. And most non-Magic related topics. All right, opponent has the Psychic Frog. Pyroclasm, not looking great here. Well, Goblin Lore? Okay. Oh! Oh, we drew 2 hollow ones, but discarded them both. The joys of playing Hollow One. For all the power that you get from Hollow One, sometimes that happens. Okay. So now what? It is good for Detective Phoenixing. I mean, I guess do we just send this Goyf to the air with Detective Phoenix? So we can bestow this on the Goyf. Exile. Actually, is it silly to put it on the Goyf? Should we be putting it on the army because we can already attack with the Goyf? Like, if we attack with a Goyf and our opponent pitches their entire hand, we're probably fine with that. All right, let's bestow it on the army. Exile. All right, here we go. Get that army going. Also, we get to keep our card types in the graveyard, which is nice for the Nethergoyf. Well, here we come, opponent. Swing and swing. Yeah, we discarded very poorly off that Goblin Lore. We would have liked to discard the Phoenix and not discard the Hollow Ones. Instead, we discarded the Hollow Ones, but not the Phoenix. Opponent. Wow. Okay. I mean, if our opponent's going to discard their hand here. So our opponent's going to discard their hand and then block the army, maybe? Sure. Sure, that is fine. Yeah, his opponent doing busted psychic frog things. Discards their hand. We get the Phoenix. We will hold on to the Blood Crypt for discarding purposes. Pass the turn. Do you reckon that the blue-white deck with Oculus and Mentor could work in Standard? Yes, I'm intrigued by that possibility. I don't even know if we want to block this. I don't even know if we want to. Like, we can. Well, maybe we should. Actually, should we? Oh, do we block here? Do you have any plans on playing Primal Prayers in Modern? Looks really fun. Yeah, that's one of the decks on my to-do list. So yes, hopefully we get to play that one soon. I caught a mistake during your unplayable card deck battle where you had Leech out and you didn't pay extra black to pay Feed this Orb. Oh my, that does sound like something I would do. Yeah, we'll let it go. We'll let it go. Sure. I mean, we do get a Bowmaster trigger. Our opponent draws a card, which isn't good for us, but at least we get something out of it, which is Bowmasters doing Bowmastering things. Scalding Tarn for our opponent. And passes. Mishra's Bauble. Well, we will play Mishra's Bauble. And crack it. See what our opponent's drawing, maybe. Counterspell, okay. Hopefully they're drawing that. Well, let's go to combat. Swing with the crew. Yeah. Actually, we'll leave the... Well, they can give it flying anyway. Yeah, let's swing with everything. I don't think they can kill us. Attack with everything. About it. Down to 3. We might be winning the race. We might be winning the race. No hollow ones necessary. Yeah, punt. What is that? What is that? I mean, the only reason it's not free is we'd have to exile more stuff from our graveyard, which I don't know if we want to have to exile more stuff from the graveyard. Opponent passes, Bauble, triggers, and it's a land. Okay. I mean, we can put them to 1 with the Bowmaster. We should be good. We should be good. We should be good. I saw that too. The Manifest Red with the name Manifest Red. Opponent passing, about 1-2. Bowmasters. Run it out. Game. Opponent has a counterspell anyway. Sure. We draw more lands. Well, I mean... So the worst case is they have Fatal Push in hand. They block... They're just dead, right? They're just dead? Even if they have Fatal Push, they should still be dead. Swing with the crew. And opponent scoops it up. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Manifest Red being named Manifest Red. It's kind of funny, I guess. It's like when they say that's happened a lot recently, where they kind of say the name of the movie in the movie. Oh, here's a deck list if you want to take a look and give thoughts. Yeah, let me see, Nader. Grixis Death Shadow, eh? So did you have any specific questions or just in general? Null Drifter's spicy in there. Null Drifter Death Shroud does seem pretty sweet. I like the Dress Down shenanigans. Dress Down has proven to be a pretty powerful card. Just like is a fair hate piece. And then if you're comboing it with Null Drifter or something, then it becomes even more exciting. Like the dream of flashing and Dress Down end step and then Null Drifting the next turn seems pretty hilarious. Yeah, I like it. That actually seems super cool. Have you got to play it much? Like how is it actually felt? Let's just run it back. Is this commander deck fair for casual play? Are we blowing up plans? Drana Vamps. Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, this seems like super, super fine for casual play. Unless I'm missing some ridiculous infinite combo that you assemble really easily all the time, which I don't think I am. But no, this seems like the kind of deck people would enjoy playing against in Commander. I think when it comes to vampires, Edgar Markov is like the super busted one that it's still fine. Lots of people play it, but I think that's the vampire deck that might make people groan a little just because you see Edgar Markov a lot and it's really strong and it has Eminence, so it does stuff from the command zone. I think most people, if you showed up with Drana and this was your deck, they would be very happy to play Commander with you. Well, all right, go Hollow One. We got the Goblin lore. Will we resolve it? Probably not, but maybe. Yeah, Null Drifter is such a cool card. So, chat, I was going to ask you. We have, I believe, 2 Commander clashes coming up featuring Duskmourn. Do you have advice on what Commander to build around? Any thoughts? I have not chosen my commanders yet. So I will say, and maybe you can figure out who picked them. So first off, the Jolly Balloon Man has already been claimed. Jolly Balloon Man has been claimed. Blue Mill thing that I don't even see. I don't even know what happened to it, but the triple Blue Mana 10-1 has been claimed. And then Aminatu has been claimed. Those are the 3 that people have claimed so far. Yeah, who do you think claimed the mill thing? that one's an easy one. That is the easiest one. Make a math deck, play some Zimone. Yeah, Krim snapped off the mill commander right away, and then he also wants Aminatu because he has an old Aminatu deck. So I'm pretty sure those are Krim's 2 decks. Phil actually snapped off Jolly Balloon Man because he's on his green fast. He's not letting himself play green at the moment. So he did take Jolly Balloon Man, and then everything else is up for grabs though. So I got to figure out what I'm gonna play. Marvin's interesting. The only problem I have with Marvin is if you're building Marvin, the whole gimmick is to go infinite. And I don't know if that would be a fun play pattern for Commander Clash. Like if all my deck is trying to do is go infinite, I don't know if that would be good. Yeah, the Big Demon could be fun. That is one of the most iconic cards from the set. The only downside of that one is stealing your opponent's cards is annoying if you're playing over webcam. I know that's not a good reason to not play it, but Krim was so excited that commander. The funny thing is the putting the sword on that commander. What is the name of this? I just keep saying that commander. People may not even know what I'm talking about. The funny thing is, Krim was very hyped about putting Sword of Body and Mind on it at first, but then he realized that doesn't actually work because the damage is still prevented. So because the damage is prevented, your sword won't actually trigger. So you just get +2/+2 in protection. The Mind Skinner is the commander. So yeah, I'm sure he'll still put the sword on it, but it doesn't work nearly as well as he was hoping. Well, let's crack this. Grab a Surveillant, I guess. Arabella, actually, I think that card might actually be powerful. And it is super creepy, which is perfect for Duskmourn. Yeah, Arabella might be a good one. I may have to do that. I don't think I'm playing Marvin just because, like I said, I feel like it's just too combo-y. And I think that would not be a fun... Not that you shouldn't build Marvin in real life or whatever, but I'm not sure it would actually be a fun Commander Clash deck. Winner's kind of the same way, right? My first impulse was let's build Winner, but I'm worried that it's just gonna be too unfun for people. Like, because the gimmick is kind of make you discard your hand. So I feel like if I choose Winner, I'm gonna be immediately archenemied, and rightly so. And my deck's just not gonna do anything because people are gonna murder me and kill Winner all the time. That's the downside of playing with the Commander Clash crew all the time. That kind of is like, I don't know, very, very entrenched in Magic and knows Magic very well. They're not going to let that slide. They're going to murder me if I play it. Marvin, I don't think I can play Marvin just because all it really does is combo. That's like all it really does. Well, that's Blood Crypt tapped. Kind of hoping our opponent plays a Bowmasters here, and that we can Bowmaster their Bowmaster. You really want to be the second, the second Bowmaster. Second Bowmaster is the place to be. Opponent, untap sand. Yes, 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 yes. Bowmasters, however, hard to play around the second one, but Bowmasters, snipe your Bowmasters. And at the moment we're winning the Bowmaster War, maybe do Winter Yarok Group Slug, so like enchantments that deal damage, so combination between Yarlok and Nekuzar. That could be kind of sweet. I'm pretty sure you go aggro with Marvin. How do you go aggro? So I feel like aggro Marvin is just like bad Sir Ginger, which you could do, but I feel like if I'm playing Marvin, you gotta at least throw a couple backdoor combos in there, right? Because that's like the whole thing. I feel like if I played Marvin and didn't put any combos in the deck, people would feel like you were playing Marvin wrong. Ugh. Oh, that's a big one. That is a big in. All right, can we beat a 6/6 flyer? We need to resolve this Goblin lore, but this control deck. So many counters. So many counters. We draw another land. We want a Goblin lore. I just have zero faith in it resolving. I guess we could, like, play Detective Phoenix as a blocker? Let's play Detective Phoenix. Run it out. Yeah, we looked at a bunch of spoilers. I mean, the spoiler videos are up on the YouTube. I did one earlier. We looked at a bunch of them at the start of the stream. I don't think anything new has come out. A couple of lore rarity cards, I guess. Yeah, opponent has a counter spell. Of course. Well, play them out and pass the turn. How do we beat a Murktide? How do we beat a Murktide? Yeah, Nico was one I was thinking about. Nico might be one of them. I think Nico, like, blink it a bunch of times, Panharmonic on it, just trying to make a ton of shards and then turn it all into something. Swarmweaver could be cool. Swarmweaver is a neat card. I haven't played insects in a long time. All right, well, opponent passes. We need something good to happen now-ish. Oh my god, even more lands. Well, all right, Goblin lore. Please stop countering your stuff for a turn. We really need to get rid of some of these lands. Don't discard the hollow one. Okay. Well, we did not discard the hollow one. That's good. So we can play the hollow one for free. Wait, should this not be... Oh, cast, yeah. Cast the hollow one for free. Play Nethergoyf. Actually, let's... Yeah, play Nethergoyf. Okay, okay. That's a 6/7. That's a 6/7. Opponent's going to counterspell it. Well, let's... Detectives Phoenix. Bestow it on the hollow one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Detective Phoenix actually feels pretty solid so far. Bloodstained Mire. Is there any way we can race? 6, 7. Oh, should we try to race? No, that's insane, right? That's insane. Actually, maybe we do. So we hit our opponent for 7. But we can't win. Oh, we could. I guess we could crack the fatal push the army. It's either that or we just stay on defense and block the Murktide. Yeah, we're gonna pass. We're gonna pass. Pass the turn. Outside of Nadu, do you think MH3 was a success? Hollow One should be hard to kill, right? You can't fatal push it. They're gonna fatal push the Bowmaster. Yup. Do I think that Modern Horizons 3... So what is the definition of success for a set like Modern Horizons 3? I think that is the question. I think from Wizards' perspective, massive success. I think the set, as far as we know, likely sold super well. Come on, Deck, something big. Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt. Well... Go to combat. Get in with the I think the lightning bolt changes the math here. Where we want to start attacking. Because 2 hollow one attacks in a bolt is actually just lethal. This is dependent on our opponent not having a counter for the bolt, which would be awkward, but pass the turn. About it. Untaps. Come on, hollow one. Come on, hollow one. Opponent's going to preordain. Gonna go digging. Can they find an answer? So I think that Modern Horizons 3 sold a ton. It did design some cool cards, which I consider that a success. It also kind of just rotated Modern again, which I don't know if I consider that a success. I mean, personally, I do not consider that a success. I think it's, again, like a little severe with the impact that it's had. I wish there was more of a middle ground where, like, somehow we could get Modern Horizon sets that are good in Modern, but don't just straight up break Modern. Bolt you? We need to do it before we attack, because we need to know if we can attack. Wow, another land. We need to know if we can attack. Because if that bolt's not going to resolve, then we die on the backswing. Well, all right, Hollow One. Come on, no Cryptic or something silly. Detective Hollow One for the win? Is it happening against the Murktide? It might be happening. It might be happening. Swing. And... Wow, this was not a fast, clean, easy Hollow One game, but we might have got there in the end. No. They have an answer? Slink into Stupor to bounce... the Detective Phoenix. So we hit you down to 2. We bestow the Phoenix. Oh, you gotta exile pretty much everything. Yeah, well, exile the graveyard. Bestow the Phoenix. And, yeah, pass the turn. Wow, this has been a close game. This has been a super close game. About it. Untaps. They can't kill us because we can block. Psychic Frog. Oh, that gives our opponent more blockers. Wow. Come on, Bolt. Come on, Bolt. Come on, Bolt. We need a Bolt. We need a Bolt. We need a Bolt. Bestowing Phoenix is better, I think, because if we just play Phoenix and then they kill it, we lose. But if we bestow it and they kill the Orc army, we still have a second option. But we have to top deck here or we're dead. Come on. Come on, Magic Gods. Come on, Magic Gods. Come on, Magic Gods. Pyroclasm. Is there any way this can work? We're also running out of time. Go to combat. So if we attack with a hollow one... Yeah, the problem is... Do we attack with both? All right, let's get him with both. The problem is this kind of lets them, probably incentivizes them to block the Murktide on the Orc army, right? Or they have more interaction in hand. Opponent. Okay, gonna give the Psychic Frog frying. Oh, which grows the Murktide. Oh, that's really bad. That's really bad. I think we die now, right? I think we die. So opponent blocks with the frog. Psychic Frog does seem pretty busted. Well, now we can Pyroclasm. Now we have to Pyroclasm. It doesn't kill the... To get the Phoenix back is a chump blocker. Wooded Foothills. Go. Oh. All right, Phoenix. Hold, Phoenix. Hold. Wow, this has been a wild game. We could just top deck a Bolt and put an end to all this. That would be the dream. Opponent. Combat. Attacks. We block. Stay at 4. Well, thin the deck down to 3. Bolt, 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 bolt. Untap. Draw. Street Wraith. Cycle. Oh, man, if we died to Bowmasters. If we died to Bowmasters. Okay, so we can Nethergoyf. We have to exile 4 card types. Land, artifact, sorcery. So we need to cycle Street Wraith. If they got the Bowmaster, they got the Bowmaster. Cycle Street Wraith. We need it in the graveyard. Wow. Ah, gosh. Ah. Man. Oh, we were just going to draw. Wow. Seriously? Every land in existence. So close. Oh, yeah. So what we needed to do there, so it was clear. So what we wanted to do to win the game was Nethergoyf, Detective Phoenix it, Hasty Attacker, win the game. That was the plan. So we needed to cycle the Street Wraith to get more mana value in the graveyard. So then for Nethergoyf, we could exile artifact, land, sorcery, creature, and then we'd have enough mana value left over to Detective Phoenix. But in the end, I mean, the Bowmaster wouldn't have mattered anyway. Wait, what are we getting punted for? Wait, what are we getting punted for now? Could we not have cast the street rate and bestowed? Ooh, maybe. Did we actually have 6 mana on the battlefield? I don't know why. I don't know how escaping the Goyf a turn earlier matters though if it has haste, right? Like escaping it a turn earlier, I don't think does anything because the only upside is being able to attack with it, right? And haste lets you attack with it anyway. So I don't see that as a pun. I think because of haste that it's smarter to leave it in the graveyard. Why expose it to removal for a turn if you don't have to? If we run out the Goyf and our opponent knows it, that also they can just leave a blocker back, they leave the Murktide back. So I think we have to like not do that. Casting the Street Wraith though, that might have been a better line. That might have been better than cycling the Street Wraith. That would have helped play around Bowmasters at least. How would we have 2 creatures though? All right, on to game number 2. Whew, all right. Oh man, this is a very hollow one hand. This is a very hollow one hand. This is a very hollow one hand. This is either like the Dream Crusher or the Dream. Burning Inquiry double hollow one. I've always wanted to play 4 hollow ones on a turn. It could happen. It could happen with this hand. Well, I mean, this is what the deck does. Blood Crypt, untap, Burning Inquiry. Come on. Don't discard those hollow ones. Please. 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 I can't believe that Burning Inquiry is a card people play in Modern. It's so ridiculous. Wow, they had a force, but they didn't use it. Okay. Ugh. So we lost a hollow one. Opponent appears to be a blue-white control deck. They discarded a force negation. Oh, 1 hollow one is probably not enough against blue-white control. Why are there so many control decks? Out of curiosity, outside of Goldfish, opponent has a land on top. Outside of Goldfish, what other MTG content creators in your free time do you watch, like TCG or Command Zone? Ooh, okay. So what other content creators? So I watch like a lot of just random content that pops up in my YouTube. Wow, it's a lot of lands. Good thing we got a Burning Inquiry, maybe. I watch a lot of random stuff that do we? Oh! We did it! We did it! We did it! I'm pretty sure what happened here. It is one of the random free wins you can get by playing Burning Inquiry is you can accidentally make your opponent discard all the lands that they kept in their opening hand. So I'm guessing what happened here is the Burning Inquiry, our opponent kept 2 lands. The Burning Inquiry made him discard both of them, and they just scooped. Turn 1 flawless victory. Turn 1. Oh, that was so good. That was so good. Oh, brutal. Brutal for our opponent. Brutal. If you need some hollow ones, by the way, reminder, you get it from our sponsor Card Kingdom over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. Well, let me put that question to the chat. I'm actually curious. What other Magic content do y'all watch? So, I watch Vince, Pleasant Kenobi. I watch some of Vince's videos. Sublurious Snail is a newer channel that I've liked they have the cool, like, super janky white thumbnails on YouTube. Card Market is awesome. I think Card Market's been one of the best channels in the past year or so for Magic stuff. Prof, of course, Tolarian Community College. LSV. Yeah, LSV's got his own channel now, right? He does his draft channel. So a lot of limited stuff. See, I don't watch too much Commander gameplay content. So I've seen probably anyone who makes like Commander content or any of the big channels that make Commander content. I've at least like seen one of their videos just because I try to keep up on what's everything that's going on in the Magic community and the content space. So I probably have seen a video about from most of them, but I don't watch too much Commander gameplay. Oh yeah, I mean, Ristic Studies is, as far as Magic documentaries, is as good as it gets. Like, Sam is very, very good at what he does. Cardmark is my favorite Magic channel to watch. Sorry, Seth. Hey, Cardmark makes some really cool videos, so no offense taken. League of Magic. What is League of Magic? I don't know if I'm familiar with... Yeah, we just didn't see much of our opponent's deck. So you think they're like Jeskai energy control? All we saw is like blue and white stuff. We might regret not bringing in the surgicals. We will see. Well, let's Arid Mesa, crack it, thin the deck for a Blood Crypt. Yeah, I mean, they probably have rings. Everyone, I mean, our deck should probably have rings. I think ring makes any deck better. Well, Dragon Rage Channeler, go. We would like to do like some maybe double Thought Seizing, double Surveil, double Thought Seize next turn. All right, so opponent is Jeskai, so they are going to be probably the energy control deck. Seth, have you considered getting into CDH at all? I find Play to Win very interesting, and the Clash crew seems like they would really enjoy CDH, besides for Tomer. So we've done some... Oh, don't get me started on the One Ring. Don't get me started. I'll just say it this way. If I had to choose between Black Enchantment Destruction and the One Ring, I would say keep the Black Enchantment Destruction. And you know how I feel about that. Oh, well, we'll take the Teferi. Opponent's got a handful of action. I don't even know if we want to Thought Seize another random removal spell. Probably just play the Bloodstained Mire to get a Surveil in. Yeah, Jim is really good. So we've done some CEDH games. But getting more into CDH could be cool. Did you see, I don't know if you're a CDH player, have you kept up on all the like drama with, so from my understanding, as someone who is not super into the CDH community, but my understanding is essentially the Commander RC Rules Committee has been clear that they're not especially interested in doing anything about CDH. So a group of players connected to a TO or something kind of was like, we're making our own RC with blackjack and hookers type of thing, and we're like, we're the RC and we're gonna do the ban list, and then maybe they bought out a bunch of cards that they were gonna unban, but that's just rumors, so I don't know if that's even true. It seemed, just from watching, I'm not into CDH, so I can just kind of watch it from the outside and eat the popcorn, but it seemed like a very dramatic week last week for CDH. Darcy said that they don't care about CDH. So a group said, we're going to do it. And the people found out they were full of bigoted Nazis. Oh, okay. I missed the end part. I saw the, like, I saw the stuff about the ban list and whatnot. And I saw there was, like, I don't know, it was, the CDH is weird. CDH drama. CDH, you see a lot of, like, stuff saying that drama's going on without getting into the drama. So I definitely got the sense that there was some drama going on with it, but oh no. Okay, we're really good at drawing lands. At least we got a Detectives Phoenix. Our opponent, who knows what they have left? Well, play the land past the turn. I'm trying to build mice with energy cards. Deck for Modern, because here no one plays Standard. I'd like to play the Tribe. Do you think it could be viable, or am I just losing my time? So I think it depends on what your hope is. if that makes sense. So I would say, okay, interesting. So we discarded a hollow one. Ooh. I think we have to Thoughtseize. It's tempting to just go Hasty Goyf, but I think it's probably better to Thoughtseize, try to make sure there's not a removal spell for the Goyf, and then Goyf about it. Oh god. Oh god. Okay, at least they lost the flip. Well, okay, we got the polarity out of their hand. Play this. Nether Goyf actually seems kind of insane. It's a 6/7. It's a 6/7 for 1. Whoa, wait. Mox Seattle was broken into last night? Swing for 0, my goodness. Wow. Well, I'm glad everyone's okay. That's super scary. I saw some. I've always had this fear. I don't own a store, I guess, so it's not a really. It's not something I have to deal with super directly. But I noticed a story about a game store being broken into like a week ago on Reddit. It wasn't Mox or anything, but I noticed that, and it got me thinking. Well, I guess we're gonna burning inquiry. Actually, you know what? 1, 2, 3. So Nether Goyf. Nether Goyf. We exile. Let's see if we can do this. Land, creature, sorcery, instant. So we Nether Goyf. And then we Detective Phoenix. On the Nether Goyf, exile you and you. I've always wondered if, like, criminals would ever realize how much magic cards are worth and how liquid they are and how untraceable they are. Like, I thought about that because I saw this article like a week ago about some local game store in some small town somewhere getting broken into, and it made me think, like, if people who want to rob places ever realized how valuable magic is for robbing, that could actually be a really, really bad, scary thing. That where, like, there would be a ton of robberies. It's still like, this is actually pretty good. Bowmasters. Bowmasters. The Burning Inquiry is a hero of this match. Maybe that's all we need against Jeskai Control. Maybe all we need is Burning Inquiry to make our opponent discard things they don't want to discard. We end up with a fetch land in hand again, but we ping ya. Opponent casting all the wrath in the world. Will it be enough? Burn ya, go to combat, hit you with the Phoenix down to 6. And opponent's on a 1-turn clock. Do they have another Wrath? If they have another Wrath, can they beat the Goyf in the graveyard? We're about to find out about it. Flage would be annoying, but it's not in the graveyard, so I think we could overcome it. Opponent untaps. 2 cards in hand. Arena of Glory at the ready. Tabbing manas. They do have Flage. Okay. So they need Flage plus another removal spell. So we're going to Flage the Bowmaster. We can't stop that. Oh, actually, no. I guess just that Flage is pretty good, isn't it? Because our Phoenix is still on the battlefield, so we can't... Burning Inquiry. Well, I guess we keep casting Burning... Do we? Is it worth it? We could hit another Phoenix. That's what we want to hit. You know what? I think we do. But does that mean we need to play the land? Yes? All right, let's play the Wooded Foothills. Crack the Wooded Foothills. Thin the deck. So we want to draw and discard a Phoenix here. That's the hope. Burning Inquiry. All Goblin Lores. All right, well... Go to combat. Hit ya. Yeah, it was mostly a matter of we needed enough mana, right, to cast Burning Inquiry and then spend 3 on the Nethergoyf and then have 1 left over. So there was a risk if we didn't play the land that we would find the Phoenix but not have a land to actually be able to do the whole thing. Well, get back to Goyf. So land, artifact, creature, sorcery, and land. All right, well, Goyf is back as a 5/6. Opponent's down to 3, but we know there's a Flage. Gonna put our opponent back up to 6. We need a Phoenix. We need a Phoenix. Hey, thank you, RP Jaya. I appreciate it. The more expensive the Magic cards are, the less liquid they become, because if a store loses alpha, that is very true. Like if like a random modern like Flage or something, super liquid, right? A Flage or a Ragavat or a Bowmasters. A Alpha Black Lotus, not so much. Well, all right, opponent. I'm gonna do Flage stuff. Man, are we gonna lose with our opponent at 1 life to this Flage? Brutal. Brutal. Yeah. You do realize if you look at... All right, opponent. Flage. Mm-hmm. I was looking at the modern metagame. And it's kind of wild. I feel like we do this every Modern Horizon set. All right, so opponent goes up to 7, which means we need 1 point of damage. 1 point of damage. A lightning bolt, a Phoenix, a something, a Mishra's Bauble. That is not a point of damage. So we play the Mishra's Bauble for no value. We crack the Mishra's Bauble. See what our opponent's going to draw. It's a Scalding Tarn. Well, 1, 2, 3. Nethergoyf. Land. Creature. Instant sorcery. Instant sorcery, I guess. Okay. Get back to Goyf. It's a 4/5. I feel like this is where our opponent's going to drop a 1 ring. I feel like this is where they're going to drop a 1 ring and we're going to cry. How do we attack here? So if we attack, we need to attack with the Orc, right? We have to. This does leave us dead to a removal spell, which is a risk. Like if they kill the Nethergoyf, then Flage kills this, we die. But if we don't attack... we can't really afford to kill the Phage in combat, because then it just escapes again. Our opponent goes up to 10. We have to chump. I mean, we're going to have to chump either way, right? So they... So they Flage the Phoenix. Yeah, we have to hit him. We have to hit him with the Orc. Yeah, there's some amount of risk, but what can you do? If you attack with both, you can draw Bowmasters with the Bauble draw. I mean, I think this is also an out still. We draw more Baubles. So the out here is our opponent attacks with the Flage. We block with the... They kill the Phoenix. We block with the Goyf. And then we go hasty Phoenix Goyf in theory next turn to... Okay. So opponent has the removal spell. Sure. Sure. If you drew Bolt, you'd win pre-combat. Oh yeah, if we drew Bolt, then life would be very easy. All right, I guess we can bring it. We have one surgical. One surgical does not seem that helpful, but I guess it's better than nothing. Is there any way Reign of Gore is worth it to try to stop Flage? Probably not, right? They have so many. They have March. They have Teferi. They have so many answers to it. Yeah, that doesn't seem worth it. All right, let's run it back. I mean, the Phoenix does seem sweet in this deck. It adds a new element to it. This deck is little light on. We have not had any good hollow ones, for one. Reign of Gore stopping lifelink makes the ring way worse. The ring's... I think the ring's busted anyway. I don't think it... Yeah, the Bloomburrow basics actually look pretty good. Can we even keep this? This hand just kind of does nothing. Let's mulligan. All right. Burning Inquiry hollow one. Here we go again. We will keep. We will put a Goblin Lore to the bottom. Oh, all right, Magic Gods. Let's get that free win. I gotta say that your bad deck video against Phil the other day. Hang on, let me play this turn and then I'll read it, Cat Cam. Also, hello, Cat Cam. How are you? All right, here we go. Quick prayer to the Magic Gods. Burning Inquiry. Win the game. Pona says not again. Oh, 3 lands! They discarded 3 lands. Oh my god. If this happens twice in one match, it would be the greatest thing in the history of Magic. They discarded 3 lands. It could have. Pona says, brah. Critical strike. No, is it happening? Oh my god. They gotta have more lands. They got to. There's no way. Oh, they surgical our Nethergoyf. Okay, that's awkward. So our opponent's not giving up. They're not giving up. Oh, they're still playing. I was hoping they were going to stop playing. I gotta say, the bad deck video against Phil the other day may be the best Magic video I've ever seen. The editing, the music, the audio, the visual effects in it make me feel like I'm watching a game on Arena. The fantastic banter between you guys, the seamless way you filmed and represented playing paper Magic with an opponent who's actually on the other side of the goal, plus the hilarious premise to begin with. My god, chef's kiss, 10 out of 10. Thank you and Phil for the amazing video. Well, Cat Cam fan, I gotta say that's one of the nicest comments that I think I've ever gotten. And I'm not even joking. I'm so glad you liked it. Seriously, that is awesome. I'm glad people like it because I think it's something we would like to do more of. Not like necessarily the worst deck thing or whatever, but like more collab videos like that in paper. Does it count as a Phil video or a Seth video? I don't even know. We've never talked. I mean, I guess I consider it a Phil video because Phil's the one that's spending like 2.5 weeks editing it. I'm just hanging out and playing the ding games with him. So Phil has to do way more work on it than I do. So I think it's safe to consider it a Phil video because of the amount of time and editing that he puts into it. I just kind of like build the deck, show up and record for half a day type of stuff, play some games. I got the easy job when it comes to those things. Ugh. Well, they discarded a ring. Unfortunately, we discarded our hollow one. These hollow ones have been very good at going in the graveyard this league. Well, hollow one, get in, hit ya. One of the things I also really like, there's the Solitude, pitching a March on their Worldly Light to kill our hollow one. Man, the energy stuff in Modern's pretty pushed. Pretty pushed. Well, after all this, it's turn 2. No one has cards in hand. We don't have any threats. We don't have any action. Our control opponent digging for the one ring that will end the game. I guess we could draw that one surgical to get rid of the one ring. That would be sweet. If our opponent plays a One Ring, it is just game. The other thing I like about being able to do the I like about being able to do the collab videos is, yeah, we're just gonna pass and flash in a Bowmaster. It's stuff that works well even when other formats are not in like great places or whatever. Like you can play worst decks ever, best modern decks ever, even when Nadu's running around and you don't really want to play modern or whatever. So I like the flexibility in that regard too. Opponent has a counter. Seeing Reign of Gord made me think, has there ever been Against the Odds where you burn your opponent out with that in Wall of Shards? So the problem is the way Reign of Gore is worded. I think it's actually actually not better, but so Reign of Gore specifically says if a spell or ability would cause its controller to gain life, they lose that much life. So something, us making our opponent gain life wouldn't work. Thankfully, there is Tainted Remedy, which is 1 more mana, but mono black. Essentially does the same thing, but it works with your effects. It was one of the worst against odds we ever did. I don't know if you're, how many people were here for the Tainted Remedy against the odds? That is what people always ask me. Oh, what's the best? What's your favorite against the odds deck? I will say that I think one of the worst, maybe the worst against the odds, was the Tainted Remedy against the odds. That was back during the era of against the odds polls. And the way the against the odds polls worked, there'd be like 4 cards on there, and whatever card got the most votes would be the next video. And whatever cards were in second and third place would stay on, and the loser would drop off, and then 2 new cards would join, and we keep doing it. So if you got in second place, you got to remain on the poll. Tainted Remedy went on a streak of being in second place for like 2 months in a row. It would never win, but it would always get second place. And when I put it on the poll, there were actually synergies for it in standard, but in the meantime, it remained in second place for so long. The rotation happened, all the synergies rotated, and we were left with Tainted Remedy trying to play pump spells that give creatures lifelink on our opponent's creatures to force them to gain life when they would attack us to try to trigger Tainted Remedy. It was just like the pieces didn't exist to make it work, and it ended up being like one of the jankiest episodes of Against the Odds that we had ever had to try to make. Yeah. Oh no, Arena of Glory. No. Is that... well. GG. 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 Well, so our opponent drew the win the game card. Spark Clap and Milikaru! Welcome to the Fish Bowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super here. Thank you. I mean, it just wins the game. It just straight up wins the game. Like this game is over. There's no coming back from a One Ring here. Dragon Rage Channel. All right, we will cast that. I mean, we can give it a turn. Like if there's a world where our opponent doesn't draw a Wrath or something, maybe we can win in 2 turns. But once our opponent finds a Wrath or deals with this Bowmasters, the game essentially just ends on the spot. We played, I remember Zur's weirding. I don't know if they've ever even fixed it, honestly. I can't remember. I remember doing Zur's weirding and it was broken and bugged. Opponent draws looking for the Wrath. Can they find the Wrath to close out the game? Hopefully not. Probably so. Bang it down to 12. Did they find it? Did they find the Wrath? Did they find the Flage? Phone it. Untap land. There's not a Flage in the graveyard, right? There is not. Alright, opponent's gonna pass. This seems like Flash in Solitude. What does Flash in Solitude mean? What can we do about it? Well, bolt your face. So they're gonna Flash in Solitude. Is there any way we can win through it? Not really. This has flying. We can give something flying with Detective Phoenix. Opponent's at 7. Oh, so close. So close. Hey, Naz, how are you? Good to see you, Naz. I mean, untap land 5-mana pass. It's very much telegraphing as Solitude. Street Wraith. I don't think that does anything. All right, Street Wraith to the graveyard. There's also 1 ring damage, which is notable. Opponent goes to 7. We draw a hollow one. Yeah, Evidence in the Graveyard is good. I miss multiple days a week of stream. I remember going and doing the votes for against odds every week. I suppose it's been a while. Have a rough take on when you stop doing polls. It kind of fizzled out. I never really set out to be like, we're not doing polls anymore. But like, I stopped doing polls every episode because sometimes there were decks that I wanted to play and didn't want to have to put through the poll. And then it just sort of like, over the course of a year or two, there started to be less and less polls and more decks I would build. And no one ever said like, hey, where's the polls? Or I really missed the polls. Or why am I not voting this week? So I assume no one actually really cared. This is a very interesting spot. So we Detective Phoenix. Opponent's at 7, which is a virtual 5 because of the 1 ring. We pretty much have to win the game this turn if we got a shot. So if we put the Phoenix on the Orc Army, we attack with the 2 flyers, they Solitude, they get rid of the Orc Army, they take 3 down to 4, they take 2 down to 2, and they win. We can put the Detective Phoenix on the Bowmasters, attack with everything, our opponent flashes in the Solitude, and they end up taking like nothing basically. They eat a creature, chump here, gain 3. There's also sideboard cards, Thought Seizes in the sideboard and so forth, but Bowmasters is the big main deck card. Well, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If you try to play the deck, there's way more sorceries than instants. So I think exile sorceries first, given the choice. Well, I don't think we want the Blood Crypt here. Yeah, this is just, it's the 1 ring win. It's the 1 ring win. We're giving it a go. It's so brutal to see the card across the battlefield from you. Oh. The 1 ring. Well, we'll go to combat. We'll swing with everything. But I'm not feeling great about how this is going to work out for us. So opponent plays the Solitude. Do they even take any damage here? Hey Seth, I'm wanting to show my girlfriend Magic. Are there any suggestions on what kind of approach or formats I should take when doing so? So I would say, show like, you want your girlfriend to be aware of Magic, like watch a video about Magic, or show as in like, you're like going to teach your girlfriend how to play Magic. If you're actually teaching how to play, I would say don't start with Commander. I wouldn't even start with Standard. I would start with, all that, we dealt 0 damage. Okay, so we get in for 0, but our opponent has a 1 ring. All right, I mean, same equation. If our opponent just hard whiffs on everything as they draw 4 cards this turn, then we got him. Otherwise, it turns out that being able to draw 6 extra cards is going to win the game. Imagine that. I would say Jumpstart's really good. The intro decks are just making new intro decks that are like super cheap or free. Those are also really good. Definitely better to leave Bowmasters on the board. Wait, how do we have an option to leave Bowmasters on the board, though? All right, opponent up to 7 cards in hand. Plays a land. Do they have a Wrath? Do they have a Flage? Pump fakes. Do they have another 1 ring? Yeah, the Card Kingdom battle decks are also really good. This play, the play pattern's so, just not fun. Oh, think of us poor Hollow One players trying to fairly attack with our random creatures. What about us? What about our Hollow Ones, wizards? What about our Hollow Ones? Thanks a ton says she's really likes math. Oh, like, yeah, I mean that makes it way easier, right? Like if you already like mathy stuff, Magic's gonna be right up your alley. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't really a strip mine, exactly, because it worked in game one because our opponent didn't have any other lands. But this game, we probably just made our opponent discard lands and drew them into one rings. But they had more, more lands, so it actually worked out better for them. I feel like saving DRC is better. Yeah, honestly, I've just, I I mostly feel like this game's over. But I think you are correct that would have been better. I don't know. Once the One Rings start chaining, I just feel like, oh, we're just playing out the string here. It's like the the last couple minutes of a football game or something where they're kneeling it down. About it. 3 mana. Flage. Gonna gain some more life. Gonna kill the Dragon Rage Channeler. I think playing the DRC is definitely better against Flage, so maybe it worked out for us. Opponent is 7. They are no longer protected by the One Ring. Why don't I have any faith this is going to work for us? We go to combat. We attack. The Bowmasters might give us hope. The Bowmasters might give us the tiniest glint of hope against this One Ring. Attack you. So opponent needs to do something here. That something is slink into stupor the token. Okay. Wait, does this work? Did this work? Is this gonna work? Is this happening? Are we beating double One Ring? Bowmasters? You to 1? One Ring, you to 0? I don't know why I feel like this is still not gonna work. Wait, they said GG. Oh, we did it. I think we did it. We beat the One Ring. It took it took an Orcish Bowmasters, but we did it. My God. Okay. I don't know how we won that game, but we did. We did it. Hollow One Power. LBZ, welcome to the Vish. But I thought that one was over. Honestly, I'm glad we run out that Dragon Rage Channeler, because if we tried to play around the Wrath instead of the Flage and we didn't run it out, we would have not had enough damage to actually do it. So yeah, yeah, it's kind of like that Simpsons episode. The Simpsons episode where they what got freed? Bart's like, it wasn't a mongoose. What is it that he freed that ate all the birds? And then they were going to release the snakes to get rid of the the thing that ate the birds, and then you release the gorillas to get rid of the snakes. That's kind of the One Ring getting shut down by the Bowmasters. They would have had to have double Solitude on their own turn to survive. Yeah, that's kind of a big ask. All right, we've played 2 control decks in a row. Can we play a non-control deck? Let's just not play a control deck. This hand, So we're on the draw. We have a Street Wraith. This hand's like a Burning Inquiry or Goblin Lore away from being good. We could also just draw another Street Wraith. That seems okay enough-ish. Unfortunately, Bowmasters don't die in the winter like the gorillas. That is true. You should get Richard to do a pure modern video where Modern Horizons cards on, or where they don't exist. Would that be something? Would you actually be interested in seeing that? That's actually a really good question. I'm curious, would that be content with, not as like, I don't think it would ever be like a weekly thing or anything, but is a video of Modern without supplemental products, is that interesting? I don't know if that'd be interesting or not. It's so hard for me to even imagine what Modern would look like without the supplemental products. It's hard. Ooh, is it the energy deck? We might have finally ran into the energy deck with the Surveil Land in their opening hand. All right. Let's just draw a Burning Inquiry. All right, close. Close. So, let's play the Swamp, play another Goyf. Pass the turn. Next turn. Next turn's going to be the big turn, hopefully. Hey, Seth, I have a question. If I have triple black and white cards, how many dual/fetch land should I run? Hey, good afternoon, by the way. Atari, how are you? Good to see ya. Yeah, maybe we'll have to try to do something like that. What format are you playing? So I think the answer is probably as many as possible, honestly. If you have triple black and triple white, you're gonna need a lot of dual lands to actually make that work on turn 3. Well, let's cycle. Actually, okay, play the mountain. So just in case they have a Bowmasters. This could be Mardu energy. That's possible. Cycle the Street Wraith. All right. Goblin lore. Okay, we didn't discard the hollow one this time. That's good. So now we can go to combat, hit you with a Goyf. Hit you with a Goyf for 4. Nether Goyf has really impressed me. Hit ya. Down to 16. Hollow one for free. And pass the turn. And we got a Phoenix in the graveyard. Okay, things are looking up. Things are looking up. Put her to taps. 2 Phoenixes at the ready. Did I react to the new... Oh, yes, I did. We did look at the new commander. I think it's actually super cool. Oh, they made a Saw card. Let's play a game. I think part of... How about this? So we talked a little bit about the goofiness of the human characters in this set, or the cheesiness of them. What do you think of this take? Magic suffers sometimes from being a game that's primarily played by adults, or at least older teenagers, but mostly adults, but also wanting to keep a very PG focus on it. I was thinking, like, maybe that's why it's somewhat so jarring, is like, you have to keep the... Like, it's a game that a lot of 20, 30, 40-year-olds play, but then it's also a kid's game, so you have to keep it kid-friendly. So I think sometimes that leads to Outlaws of Thunder Junction, or like, oh, is this Storm? This is Boros Storm, oh boy. That sometimes leads to, like, the cowboy set, but no guns, or the horror set, but no one dies, which obviously isn't, like, a deal breaker or whatever, but I think maybe they get PG-13, they get 1 F-bomb per set. I mean, I don't want to see F-bombs in the set, but I do think they could, like, I don't know. The horror movie set, if you're going to do every horror movie trope, and the cheesy humans are intentional because it's a horror movie trope, which it is, you at least got to be killing people off. That's the biggest horror movie trope. The biggest horror movie trope is, like, a lot of people dying. Wow, opponent mini storms fizzles. Can we win the game this turn somehow? Probably not, but let's cycle a Street Wraith. We do have a lightning bolt. Cycle a Street Wraith. into a hollow one. So this hits for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. How do we get 2 more points of damage? There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way. Is there a way? Can we get more card types? So we need a fetch land in the graveyard. That's 12. But then the Detective Phoenix also decreases the card types in the graveyard. Is there an instant? There is an instant in the graveyard. We're going to lose the enchantment in the graveyard, though. Well, Wooded Foothills. Crack Wooded Foothills. Get a mountain. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11. We can't use this Goyf. So we could bestow Street Wraith, Lightning Bolt. I mean, I guess we hope they crack a fetch. We put them to 1? Put our opponent to 1 and then hope they crack a fetch? So we bestow this on doesn't really matter. Hollow one. Exile a Street Wraith. Oh no, but we have to cast the Lightning Bolt now. Huh. I guess we can just exile 2 Street Wraiths. That's more mana value, but... Alright, Street Wraith, Street Wraith. What a waste. So bestow the Phoenix. So that's 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Go to combat. Hit ya. Opponent. They also have Ral that could make them lose life. Wow, is this going to come down to a Ral coin flip? So we're hoping our opponent cracks a fetch, takes a Ral damage. We need 1 point of damage. 1 point. If we could have discarded one more card, this hollow one could have come down with haste to maybe get there. But we were a card short as far as getting it down. Opponent. Ruby Medallion. That's a good one. And here comes the fun. Pyretic Ritual. And Desperate Ritual. And Ren's Resolve. Into, a ton of card draw. Yeah. Oh, 1 point of damage. 1 point of damage. Yeah, I mean, just so it's clear, I got distracted by your game of Magic. Oh my god, that's a fetch. You're right. You're right. Now I got distracted by the chat. Okay. Cast a spell, opponent. Cast a spell. And bolt you. Oh, it worked. You know how lucky we are? You know how lucky we are that they had a fetch? This is a set very close to a mono red deck. The odds of them having to play a fetch land in specific, not especially high. Wow, I can't believe we got there against Storm somehow. Okay, Storm. Damping Spheres, A++. Surgical Extraction, yes. Thought Seizes, sure, I guess so. What do we go down? That's going to be the challenge. Does Bowmasters even do anything against this Storm deck? Oh, just on the like the split focus thing between adults and kids, just so it's clear, I don't think they should be putting like super graphic, like whatever, R-rated stuff on Magic cards. But I think like sometimes it's just like a huge audience to hit, right? Like it's very hard to make something that's appealing to a 8-year-old and an 18-year-old and a 48-year-old. So I think that's more of what I was thinking there. Not that we want like Magic cards to be like super explicit or anything, but it's tough to make something that appeals to that wide of an audience because you got a bunch of different people with different experiences and so forth. Can't please all people all the time. And a lot of times, if you try to please everyone, you end up pleasing no one. I think is a good rule to live by. So what are we taking out here? Is Meat Hook R-rated? Really? Maybe it is. We need to sideboard something. Maybe Ox of Agonis. I feel like this is going to be... Well, Ox can be good. The Fatal Pushes are kind of necessary. Maybe Bowmaster? They just don't draw cards, right? What's Bowmaster really going to do here? Maybe we're going to a couple Bowmasters. Go down like a Fatal Push, a Bobble. Yeah, maybe we do go down the Ox of Agonis. We haven't even seen the Ox of Agonis yet. I do think, so we do need a fast. I don't think we can cut the hollow ones, because I think our most realistic plan here is like have an aggro draw where we have like 2 hollow ones, a bit of disruption with like a Thoughtseize or something, and can kind of tempo them out. I think that's like kind of our best bet here. Hey, what's up, Paul? How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Nuzzle on Thoughtseizes. That is a lot of Thoughtseizes. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm kind of viewing it like a tempo thing. I don't think Thoughtseize is like the be-all and end-all in this matchup, but I'm hoping if we can like pressure Thoughtseize their first thing to like slow them down and like get in with our Goif or get in with a hollow one or something, maybe we have a chance that way. We're going to try this hand. We do have Thoughtseizes, that's for sure. Many, many Thoughtseizes. And, okay. We have literally all the Thoughtseizes. Well, Blood Crypt untapped and Thoughtseize you. Ritual, Metamorphose. Well, let's take the card draw. They got no Ral. They got no Medallion. They do have a lot of rituals. Yeah, I've been meaning to play more Timeless. I haven't played a ton of Timeless since Bloomburrow came out. I really enjoy Timeless a lot, but I just haven't played much since Timeless released. Oh no. Well, that's an unfortunately good draw. All right, there's a Medallion. Land. Burning Inquiry. Well, let's start with a Street Wraith. Another Goif. Well, Burning Inquiry. I don't know if this is good or bad for us. We discard... No, wow, they discarded a Past in Flames. That's awkward. Blood Crypt untapped. Thoughtseize you. That's the same hand. Oh, we're dead. Well, that's, yeah. Can't they win here? Ritual, Past in Flames. Maybe can they not? Ritual to 3. Maybe they're 1 short. Orcish Bowmaster. Huh. Well, I guess we nether Goif and then put the Phoenix on it. I don't even know if that's that good, but we're not really doing anything else, so we might as well. Yeah, all right. Here comes the Goif. Flying Haste, hit you for 5, and then you get to storm us. I have not played Historic ever since Timeless release. I've played like a couple of games of Historic, but I've hardly played any Historic at that point. Is there any information when the rest of Pioneer is getting imported to Arena? The last I heard was like 2 weekly MTGs ago. It came up in the question and answer, and all they said was that the Pioneer Master set was still happening, but they didn't have any actual date for it. So a little concerning because that's been a couple of years of like Pioneer Masters, the end of this year, the end of next year, the end of next year, and it just keeps getting pushed back. So I don't really know what to think. That could mean the beginning of next year, Pioneer Masters drops. We basically have full Pioneer, or it could be next year at this time. There's a WotC stream saying, we're working on it. We don't have a date yet, so no firm information. What was the timeline for when Pioneer would be fully an MTGA? Timeless has had a huge shakeup because of Modern Horizons 3. So, yeah, I mean, are we dead? I think. It got a huge shakeup because of Modern Horizons 3. So it has made the show and tell decks. Well, I shouldn't say too much because it's been like a month since I've really played much Timeless. But last time I was playing, which was like a month ago. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I got us, opponent. You got us. It had really Omniscience and show and tell got a lot worse because of the Modern Horizon stuff, and like Energy was actually the biggest deck. Yeah, I believe there is a storm count, right? There always used to be. Was it not on the screen? It's usually right on the screen. Food question for you. You have anything you like to eat or drink that you can't often do for whatever reason? Lactose sensitivity, for example. I like mixed drinks, but I don't like being drunk, etc., etc. Ooh. That's a good one. So I don't... Do we actually keep this? We probably need a damping sphere, or at least like a faster hollow one. Ooh, okay. Well, we'll try it. We'll try it. Damping sphere gives us a little bit of hope. A smidgen of hope. Arid Mesa, go. So I'm not really allergic to anything that I know of. I don't really enjoy drinking much, but I don't really enjoy the taste of drinking that much either. so it's not really that I love drinking, but I can't. Ooh, Phoenix in the Graveyard's good. That's not bad. Oh, Burning Inquiry. Oh, oh man. This is so awkward. What an awkward setup. So we can play Damping Sphere to slow our opponent down, but if we play Damping Sphere next turn, we can't Burning Inquiry Hollow one. We could Burning Inquiry Hollow one this turn, but then we might discard the Damping Sphere and just get stormed off. So I guess we have to just play the Damping Sphere, even though it's also going to slow us down a bit. Well, all right. It is our best card in the matchup. It is literally our best card in the matchup. I mean, maybe, I don't know, probably something sweet. So I guess it's like not that you can't do it, but like for health reasons, really shouldn't eat too much of the sweet stuff. About it, Elegant Baller. Hey Seth, what would you think of a legendary creature based on the character we keep seeing in the Meat Hook artwork? 100% should happen. I want to see. Oh, there's the medallion. I want to see it. I think it'd be maybe a Planeswalker based on the Meat Hook Massacre character. I also think they're gonna end up doing Meat Hook Massacre Origins or something. And well, let's do it. Burning Inquiry. Spin it to win it. Spin it to win it. We spun away our hollow one. Well, let's cycle a Street Wraith. And we can't play this because of... Alright, well, that didn't not go exactly how we hoped, but sure. Sure, pass the turn. Found it. Even more ruby medallions. I mean, and our opponent did not discard anything too impactful. So awkward. Bestowing still casting, right? Bestowing's definitely still casting, right? I mean, really, this is how hate pieces should be. I mean, it's much more interesting, right? Rather than it just wrecking your opponent and not hurting you. It is definitely giving us some tough choices, though. I guess we just thought seize, but then we still don't have a clock. Holy goodness. Double Past in Flames, Ral, Pyretic Ritual, Desperate Ritual, Ley Line of Sanctity. Well, let's take a ritual, I guess. With 2 Past in Flames, not much point in going after those. So if they play the Ral, we can kill it. About it. Finds a land. Yeah. No, I mean, I guess there are asymmetrical hate pieces that are fine. There's the Ral. About it. Can they actually storm off through a Damping Sphere? Kind of hoping they cast the Ritual here and try to. So you get a 2 mana reduction, a 3 mana reduction, but then a +1? If they try to cast the Ritual, we kill the Ral, and then we're in really good shape. Opponent, not going to do that. All right, well, let's Fatal Push. Kill the Ral. Fatal Push. Kill the Ral. Untap. Land. How about a land? How about a land? All right, well, we will play a single Netherglyph. Can't haste it because of this Damping Sphere. Pass the turn. Oh, come on. Don't storm us, opponent. Don't storm us. We got a 6/7. If we ever draw another land, we can Netherglyph and haste it in and get in a bunch of damage, but... no shot they try to go off in that position. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty tough with 1 mana. And the Damping Sphere. Even with double Ruby Medallion. Leyline of the Void's the kind of card that I think I could see in, like, Foundations. I view that as a pretty, like, foundational piece, right? Yeah, we're still alive for now. If the Damping Sphere goes, we probably go with it. But as long as this Damping Sphere holds up, we're not dead. I mean, Storm is it's very scary to play against because they can win in any turn, basically, outside of turn 1. So there's always that fear hanging over you that this could be the turn they, like, blow up the Damping Sphere and then just pop off and win the game. But as of right now, we got a 6/7. We got another 6/7 in hand that might be able to get hasted in. We only need this to hold up for a couple of turns. A couple of turns, and we can theoretically get the win with the Netherglyphs. I don't ever want to see that card in double-digit pricing ever again. Yeah, that's a good one to have. Be cheap. Ooh, opponent has a Ral. Okay. Sure. I mean, we know some of their hand, right? 2 Past in Flames. We know their entire hand. 2 Past in Flames. Pyretic Ritual, Leyline of Sanctity. All right, opponent plays a Ral and passes. We draw. Dragon Rage Channeler. Would have preferred a Goyf, or preferred a land. Let's go to combat. Get in with a Goyf. Hecha. I mean, they still can't really go off next turn, right? I don't think. Actually, can they? So if they cast a Ritual for 1 mana, they cast a Ritual for 1 mana. They have 3, 4, 5 mana. Past in Flames costs 1 mana plus 1 mana, so 2 mana. But then Wish costs 1 mana plus... Oh, I think they can. Well, I mean, we're going to play another Goyf. Never found land number 3. That one more land would have changed the equation a bit. I think there's a chance they just combo off here. Because I think they can cast enough spells. I think they can cast enough spells to wish for an answer to the Damping Sphere, and then they are free to just win the game with that big Galvanic Relay. I guess they can't play till their next turn. All right, there's a Pass in Flames. So their spells cost 2 more, but 3 less. So their stuff is still doing things at the moment. Cracks the Scalding Dart down to 11. We can't play the D. Yeah, I mean, we're kind of getting stacks by our own Damping Sphere, unfortunately, which is why we can't, like, play the DRC, why we can't bestow the Detective's Phoenix, because every spell we cast makes the next spell cost 1 more. So after we play the Nethergoyf, now the DRC's 2, the Bestow's 2. How's it going to be interesting? Opponent's hand's kind of jank. Maybe we have a chance. Opponent. Okay. Pyretic Ritual. I mean, if they flip the Row, that's also brutal. So their next spell costs 3 more, but they have a 3-mana reduction. So their next spell costs normal, and then they start getting taxed. I imagine, though, they just wish. You cast the wish, you get the answer, you kill the Damping Sphere, then you can do whatever you want. Well, we'll see. Maybe they can't. Maybe they can't actually do it. So wish costs 1, right? So they're going to have 5 mana. Then whenever they wish for... Yeah, they just have so many cost reducers. What a weird scenario. Hey, Seth, I saw your short on Head Shredder and Hedron Crab. Could a stock minimalist pivot from blue-black to blue-green utilizing that card? So, I mean, the good news is, in Modern, you can very easily splash colors because of fetch lands and triomes and shock lands. So I think it's actually very realistic that you could play Sultai Mill. I think the biggest challenge is... All right, there's the wish. Opponent wishes for... Gotta be an answer to Damping Sphere. I imagine. Did they get something? Did they wish for something they can cast through the Damping Sphere? Yeah, there is no Storm count, is there? I think maybe there's no Storm count because we haven't seen a Storm card yet. So I think they don't show a Storm count until a Storm card is somewhere. What do you think of Magebane Lizard over Damping Sphere for the Storm matchup? Yeah, I mean, it does something similar, right? I'd have to think about exactly. Let's pull up a Storm deck list. I think the big question would be, are there things that they play that answer one but not the other? And I don't think really. Yeah, I mean, it should be fine, right? I think, well, Mind Collapse, I guess, but in general, it should be fine. Magebane Lizard. Whenever a player casts a non-creature spell, deals damage to that player equal to the number of non-creature spells they've cast this turn. Is that enough? So first spell's 1, second one's 2. So it's 3, 6, 10. Yeah, I mean, it could be worth considering. I think in general, an artifact is hardier than a creature, but against Storm in specific, it might not actually matter. I think the big reason to play Damping Sphere is... Another big deck is the Tron decks and the, like, Ugin Sanctum decks. Oh. Wow. That's your plan? I can't imagine this is what our opponent... No. This can't be what they planned, is it? The old grape shot for 5? Oh, they get to flip the Ral. But it's only at 7. They're 1 spell short. Wait, isn't this... Do we win? Do we just win? They can't cast anything. I think we won. The Damping Sphere held against double Ruby Medallion plus a Ral. I cannot believe... I cannot believe the Damping Sphere was enough there. An opponent scoops it up, and I don't know how we won that one, honestly. We played a Damping Sphere and did nothing, but apparently that Damping Sphere was enough. Yeah, I mean, the deck, it's working. It's working. We're 2-1. Do we have any more spoilers? Let's play a game. 4 mana sorcery. Choose one. If there are 4 more card types in your graveyard, choose 1 or more instead. Creatures your opponents control. It's 4 mana, though. Creatures your opponents control get -1/-1 until end of turn. Each opponent discards 2 cards. Each opponent loses 3 life. You gain 3 life. If this was 3 mana, maybe. At 4 mana, it seems a little steep. Plus, you really need Delirium for it to actually do anything. We put a Damping on our opponent's Storm Plan. Cathartic Parting. 3 mana. The owner of target artifact or enchantment an opponent controls shuffles into their library. You may shuffle up to 4 target cards from your graveyard into your library. I mean, I guess that answers a 1 ring. Technically. I don't... We already have that card in Modern, so I guess it's not a huge deal, but... Jingathe. Some Pan-Eon action. All right. This hand... I mean, we got a Burning Inquiry with a bunch of Phoenixes. Is that worth it? So this is probably energy, right? It's probably... What What is the biggest Jingatha deck? Yeah, I mean, we did get down the Goyfs eventually, but it was like, what, turn 6 or something? We had to... we had to deploy our threats very slowly because of the Damping Sphere. Sand might do things, but it might not do anything ever. I think we're going to try it, though. I feel like the Lightning Bolt could be good. Hello from the EU. It's very late here. Just hopped in to say you and the Goldfish crew and everyone in the chat should give a shot to the best format in Magic, Pauper. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, I've played Pauper in the past. I haven't played it recently. How is Pauper right now? Is Pauper in a good spot? Pauper can be a super fun format. Now, let's play the Bobble. Play the Bobble, take a peek. Let's see what our opponent's got on the top of their deck. Oh, it's just Storm again? Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, okay. New plan. Hope to get lucky. Wooded Foils. Crack Wooded Foils. We're spinning to win. We're spinning to win. We don't have a choice since our opponent is once again storming. Burning Inquiry. Spinning to win it. Show us hollow ones. No. Well, we will play a Mishra's Bauble. We will crack a Mishra's Bauble. Opponent discarded some card draw. Ruby Medallion on top. All right, pass the turn. No Damping Sphere. No Damping Sphere to save us. Draw a card and draw... Oh, draw a bunch of lands. Bone it. Wooded Foils. Gonna play the Ruby Medallion. Yup. We draw a Fatal Push. Well, Aaron Mesa. I guess we just have to pass. We can Bowmasters or Fatal Push. My LGS has 20 players for Pauper Friday nights. That's actually super impressive. How is Standard been at local game stores? Ooh, this sounds familiar. Double Ruby Medallion. How come Goldfish doesn't have a Pauper creator? It's probably the only 60-card format that WotC cares about. I mean, so Joe, who does This Week in Legacy and Vintage 101, he also does Pauper articles. So we do have a Pauper article series, but we don't have a like Pauper gameplay series at the moment. We have at various points in the past. Jake did it in the old days. I did it for a bit. Is there a way? So if we play the Goif, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll play the Goif. Phoenix on the Goif. 1, 2, oh, that's 2 card types though. So we're gonna have artifact land. Oh, I guess it's still worth it. Is it? How much does Fatal Push matter? I guess it matters quite a bit because of Ral. All right. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, this is still fine. It's still fine. Haste up the Goif. Play the Wooded Foothills. Go to combat. Hit ya. So we get in for 7. Maybe there's a way we can get lethal next turn. We'll see. Opponent untap. See if we're alive next turn. Can't find a single... I was wondering if Standard was taking... Oh, there's a Past in Flames. Was taking back off. Dad can't find a single Standard local for months. It's Modern mainly. Where are you at, Dom? All right, opponent's going to Manamorphose. Trigger the Bowmaster. I mean, that increases our odds of winning next turn if we're not dead. Opponent's down to 10. I imagine our opponent's thinking of winning this turn, though. I would expect that that's their plan. Seth, I'm a Magic the Gathering player. I can't read. I have no idea what these squigglies mean. Yeah, we only know math. Reading. What are you talking about? WotC has a dedicated panel of Pauper oversight. Oh, Pauper is the best run format by far. I mean, it helps because of Gavin. Like, I really think it's purely because of Gavin. And it's not so much that Wizards secretly loves Pauper. It's that Gavin loves Pauper and is willing to dedicate his time to making Pauper good. But as far as like bannings and just how the format's managed, Pauper is, in my opinion, the best format. Well, okay. We'll see if this is enough. They could just cast another spell and response. Wooded Foothills, crack it. Blood Crypt, untapped, and see if we can fatally push this Ral. Hopefully to death. Okay, Ral down. All right, well, let's see if we live. I don't know that we do, but... So opponent... Actually, no. I mean, I don't even know if there's any reason to sit through it at this point with this Past in Flames coming. Yeah, we're not going to sit through it. There's no fizzling. Like, look at this graveyard. So the Past in Flames, Ritual, Impulse, Glimpse. There's no... they get to just play their deck, essentially. Well, Damping Sphere's in. Surgical in. Thoughtseize, I think we gotta keep it. We're gonna do basically the same thing as last time. Do a little trimming, go down mostly the Bowmasters. I don't know if the Ox is good, we just never have done anything with it. Yeah, I mean, I think Gavin, there is a people on the team with Gavin. I think Gavin basically made that happen, though. That's what I was trying to say. Like, my impression of, like, the Pauper Rules Committee or whatever it's called is pretty much a Gavin passion project. That he just, like, took that thing over. He got people on the committee. He does the big articles. So I think if Gavin didn't exist, I think it would look a lot differently. That's all I was meaning. That I think it's kind of a passion project for Gavin because he just really loves the format. My Texas LGS says Standard has really been big. Modern hasn't been firing depending on the week. I was hoping that Standard would be on the upswing, because it seems like overall it is. Like, the data we can see, well, let's see if we can mulligan for our trusty damping sphere. No. Well, I guess we mulligan one more time for our trusty damping sphere. All right, let's see what happens. Let's make a deal. Yeah, all right. Well, this is not exactly how we want to be playing this deck, but Burning Inquiry, let's see. Spin it to win it. Spin it to win it. Turn 1. Into nothing. Okay, pass the turn. I mean, our opponent did discard a Ruby Medallion. That's something. We did not discard a Damping Sphere. That's also something. Opponent. Pass it. We draw a Bolt. Well, Bloodstained Mire. Crack the Bloodstained Mire. I guess we just get down the Nethergoyf. We have not had one single explosive. This deck feels a lot different than past Hollow 1 decks. I feel like we have not had nearly... Have we had any of the, like, free wins? We haven't really, had we? Have we had a single game where we're just, like, turn 1, 2 Hollow 1s, or even 1 Hollow 1? We've had, like, a lot of weird late game resiliency because of the Phoenix coming back and like these recursive threats. So it feels like the deck is way more resilient than it's ever been, but I don't know if it's just the games that we've played with it or if it's less likely to get those. Oh boy. Or if it's less likely to get those turn 1 wins than it was in the past. Well, all right. Opponent has the Ruby Medallion. Dabbing Sphere. Hollow 1. Well, all right. Let's see if we keep it in hand. Goblin Lore. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And Hollow 1 down. Well, get it with the Goyf. Hit ya. The random draw and discard. Opponent. I've been watching a short series called Voice Actors Who Are Everywhere. It's kind of crazy to see where some of them have performed and hearing a sample and going, oh yeah, that would be pretty interesting. Have you heard of Mox's Rags to Riches event? I have not. What is the Rags to Riches event? Well, here they go. Opponent cracks the fetch. And... So our matchups today in this league, we played Dimir Control, or I guess Dimir Murktide, into... Wow. Huh. I did not even realize. This just popped up on my Twitch. I hadn't noticed it before. Jeff Hooglin, he's a Marvel Snap streamer now? Interesting. Marvel Snap streamer and also has like almost 3,000 people watching Marvel Snap. Wow. That's very impressive. How is Snap? Is that a big thing? I know it's so funny to see these other games come and go. The Goldfish crew was so into Snap because we're getting to Vegas time again. We're getting to Vegas time where we're going to MagicCon Vegas in a month. Las Vegas, the Goldfish crew, everyone was so into Snap. Krim and Richard and everyone super into Snap. This year, I feel like it's fallen off. Where I have not heard people talking about it nearly as much. He's got to stream some other game because he blocked everyone in MTG. I mean, I've known Jeff for a long time from doing contest stuff. He definitely has his own unique way, I would say, of managing bannings and so forth. $10 says Hooglin blocked me, and I've never talked to him. I'm pretty sure I've been blocked and unblocked by Jeff. It's just, boy, I can't even remember the last one. Might have been, this is a while ago now, but might have been arguing about like the mulligan rule or something. I feel like that's how me and Jeff's relationship has been for a long time, where we like get in some argument over some magic thing, and then he ends up blocking me, and then he unblocks me, and then inevitably 6 months later or whatever, we argue about some other magic thing, and then I get blocked again. Yeah, Jeff, he has a low standard for blocking, or what I would consider a low standard compared to my standard for blocking someone. His is a little more aggressive. I don't know. How about One Piece? Is One Piece still going strong? Because I heard Krim, Richard. So Richard was coming back from China, had to rush through customs to make it to One Piece pre-release. Because Richard, he's all about the One Piece at the moment. He loves One Piece. Krim was the one that was most into One Piece, but then he was saying he's like kind of out of it because I don't know, they banned his commander or something. I don't even know the terminology, but my son plays the One Piece card game. It's really cool. I learned it a little bit. Like I played one of the intro decks or test decks just to like get a sense of what it was like. It seemed like it was kind of fun. I could definitely see if you know One Piece, it would be even more fun because I didn't know any One Piece stuff. But yeah, it seems like even the things I've seen on Twitter, like from tournaments and stuff, it seems like One Piece is very popular. Pound it, Ralph flips it. Yeah, I mean, we're not missing much here. Our opponent is just killing us with storm cards. I think this is enough. Is it? Is it enough for us to concede? So they have another Past in Flames. Yeah, that's good enough. That's good enough. You did it. You did it, Storm. Okay. Okay, can we play non-control, non-storm? Just once for our last match. Going for the 3 wins. Going for that sweet, sweet treasure chest. Did you see the new uncommon from Duskborn? Cathartic Parting. Seems like really good artifact and enchantment. Hey, yeah, I think it is. I think it is good. It reminds me, I think is it Glamour Die? Is that the super old one? Glamour Die. No. Does anyone? I can't remember the name of it. What is the old card from like Lorwyn or Shadowmoor that I thought was double green, shuffle a artifact or enchantment into its opponent, into its library or whatever. Like essentially very similar to Cathartic. Deglamour. That sounds right. I remember Deglamour like would occasionally see Modern play. So I guess it was an instant. It was an instant. Choose an artifact or enchantment. Owner shuffles into her library, their library. So this is a sorcery, but you also get to get some cards from your graveyard back in your library. This seems pretty good. I think artifact and enchantment hate is pretty important in this standard because of Caretaker's talent, Innkeeper's talent, all the new stuff from Duskborn. So I feel like that card's going to be good in standard. I don't know if it's good enough for modern. I do like that it answers the One Ring, but Deglamour also exists and has not really answered the One Ring. And in modern, it's probably pretty comparable. Huh. All right, let's mulligan. Opponent. Oh, no. Is this Storm again? Oh, no. Really? No. No. Please, no. Oh, boy. Okay. Well, it's not Storm, so that's good. Leyline of the Guildpact, opponent planes, and Ragavan. Should have kept that Fatal Push. That Jagatha got me thinking it was probably Storm. Okay, that works. That works. We can use the Bolt to answer the Ragavan at least. Opponent also did some mulliganing, I think. Yeah. Leyline of the Guildpact, Ragavan Storm. What do you think of Leylines, chat? It was funny because I always like ley lines, but then we were talking about it on the podcast, and Richard seemed to really not like ley lines, and he had a good point that they're like, that they're another form of free spell, essentially, which I hadn't really thought of them that much in that light, because they're like, do their own unique thing, but, hey, Krim, what are you doing streaming at this time? Isn't it morning? And Krim, yeah. Yeah, that's the most shocking part. Why is Krim awake and streaming at this time? Hey, see you, Krim. Hopefully you had a good stream. I don't know why you're awake, but welcome Raiders. You did come in right in the last match of our league, but don't worry, we'll find someone good to raid after we beat this brutal Sign of Draco. We really need, so what do we need here? We need one of our draw and discard effects. Street Wraith. Another Street Wraith would also be okay. I mean, if we can make a big flyer, like a hollow one with the Detective's Phoenix, we can just block it. Is Voxy on? All right, we'll raid Voxy. We'll raid Voxy after we finish up. Hey, thank you for the raid, Grim. Milk on cereal. Do we just draw another land? Who does that? Milk on cereal. I don't like ley lines. Usually if they are in the deck, it's never fair. I think that's kind of true. Well, let's play a Nethergoyf. So if we Detective's Phoenix, it's not big enough to block the Draco. All right, well, pass the turn. Pass the turn, see what happens. Opponent, wait, why did... I don't know about exerting. That is an aggressive use of exert. Opponent gets in with the Draco. Hits us. Down to 8. Passes. Oh, we draw another. So clunky. Well, okay. Cycle a hollow one. Ugh. Blood Crypt, untapped. We might die to burn, but Detective's Phoenix, bestow it on the Goyf. I think this makes the Goyf big enough to block. Alright, sure. Stubborn denial. Opponent. Combat. It's us. Yeah. Down to 2. And opponent has a lightning bolt. And, yeah, well, opponent had the landline of the Guild Pact. So, we don't really have anything that interacts with any of this, do we? Huh. Charma, no. Rainagore, no. Damping Sphere, no. Even Thoughtseize against the leyline doesn't... I guess we just run it back? Do we just run it back and hope that we do better? Could have attacked. Well, the problem with attacking there is they have the Arena of Glory, right? So if we attack for 4 and our opponent has any creature that they can haste in, we just die to the haste creature. So I think we had to not attack there because of that, but yeah, it's a very bad spot. Non-basic dragon. But our opponent doesn't have anything that could produce colorless. Like, if this was going to be 2 mana or 3 mana, yes. But at 5 mana, I don't think our deck ever gets to 5 mana. And I don't think our opponent has any lands that could produce colorless. So I don't think it would actually work, would it? 1 less to catch for each land your opponent. I don't think they have any. Huh. They don't have lifelink. I mean, I guess we could bring in Thoughtseizes. I don't know what would be cutting for them. We could bring in a Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize does stop the Draco, that's kind of the combo. We would rather just make a big board of our own creatures, but all right, we'll try a Thoughtseize. Seth, I messaged on Twitch last week about selling my collection. I was hoping you could help them find a good home. I'm losing my apartment in December. I am selling my cards to get a place. I sent a quick email that I have might have gotten lost in the shuffle. Oh yeah, I got your email, Green. I just haven't got back to it yet, but I will. I'll get back to you shortly. But I did get the email, so it is there. How are you, Softy Mage? All right, here we go. Come on! Let's just have one good Hollow One game. Let's just have one. Do we keep this? I think we gotta keep it. We gotta keep it and hope for the best. So no Hollow Ones. We can start with the DRC. We have Burning Inquiry. We got goblin lore, so we have lots of ways to dig through the deck. Maybe if we can find some hollow ones. Opponent, of course, always has Leyline of the Guild Pact, or 2. Yeah. Was that also not on the mall? Just, alright, just started with 2 Leylines. If I ever sell my collection, you want to buy it, Seth? Maybe. I'd have to give the details of it, but possibly. I mean, doing the like collection buying YouTube and the opening YouTube has kind of made it a little bit easier to do stuff like that. But at the same time, I don't think that the YouTube probably can't just be buying collections from viewers all the time either. So it really depends on the collection, I think. Detectives Phoenix. Well, all right, we will play us Arid Mesa. Kraken Arid Mesa. We're going to spin it to win it. And hit three hollow ones, please. We'll settle for 3. 3's enough. 69 dual lands. All right. Yeah, if you have 69 dual lands, I would consider 420 fetches, 69 dual lands, 420 fetches, sold. Well, let's Goblin Lore. Do a little surveilling. See if we can find us a hollow one or 2. Mishra's Bauble. That can go to the graveyard. Okay. Well, we got another Glyph in the graveyard. Street Wraith. Into a hollow one, please. Into a Bowmaster. All right, I'll play the Bauble. Surveil. Fatal Push. I mean, I guess we'll keep it. We can probably discard it to the Burning Inquiry. It really depends on what the threat is they have in hand. If they have the Cyanide Rocco, it's not very good, but if they're on like the Kavu or something, then it's better. I guess we got to do this now in case of Bowmasters. Crack the Bauble. Well, there's the Kavu. I'm glad we kept the Fatal Push. You should open the new Dustborn bundle on there. Yeah, I really like that new bundle. So I think that's a good possibility because I actually just want to buy one because it seems like an actual, like, pretty good deal. Hey, Seth, other than Mox, what are some of the excellent LGSs across the country? Maybe some that are independent artist, creator friendly, looking to pitch some stuff, but want to work with some cool places. Whew. That is actually a really good question. I've always had this idea, and I don't know if I will ever actually do it, but I always had this idea that it'd be so cool to do some sort of like video series that was just going across the country, stopping at LGSs and just like meeting the people and checking out the LGSs. It would probably be horrible content, I guess. But I always thought it'd be really cool because I actually kind of want to know the answer to that question. And I really don't. I know, like, so we have, obviously Mox is good. Other companies that have online presences that I know, like Cool Stuff Inc. or Star City Games, Channel Fireball, those type of places. Some of them still exist. Channel Fireball, I guess, is not exactly existing anymore in the way it was before. But so I know some of those. I guess it would be cool to maybe just gotta ask people. Like, what's the coolest local game store in your city? That would probably be a good way to get an idea for it. You and the crew have the best chemistry ever. I barely play anymore, but I love listening to you guys. Oh, well, thank you, Leaf House. I'm glad it's enjoyable. Well, that's 1-2. Let's play a Bowmaster. Actually, what's going on, Moto? What's going on, Moto? Leaf House, welcome to the Fishbowl. Moto is a little laggy at the moment. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super video. Thank you. Would the Codfather approve of it? I don't know. I've never actually pitched it to him. I mean, if I had an actual idea of what I want to do, probably. But I don't know. I definitely have to do some research. It's tempting to just fire off the Burning Inquiry, but I'm a little afraid of Orcish Bowmaster. Well, there goes our Bowmaster. But we do have an answer to our opponent's Bowmaster, so it's not completely the end of the world. And we get to Surveil. Detective's Phoenix, definitely going to the graveyard. So Bowmaster down. I mean, the Phoenixes could do some work here. Opponent's at 12. About it. What is one project that you had to run by Richard and was worried it wouldn't get approved? I mean, it's never actually happened. I think I kind of more or less have free reign to do what I want, but I think something like that would be different. Like if the pitch was, hey, I'm going to take a month or something and just like drive around the country to local game stores. Will you fund this? And by the way, I won't be around to do my normal gameplay and streams and stuff. Like that would be a much different pitch. But as far as like, I've never tried to do anything like that. So as far as just other stuff, it's pretty much a guaranteed yes, essentially. How can we close this out? Well, let's play the bobble, Surveil. Land to the graveyard. Burning Inquiry. Surveil. If they have another Bowmasters, we have the Fatal Push. All right, they have another Bowmasters. But we do have another Fatal Push, so this is okay. This is okay. So Fatal Push the Bowmaster. Surveil. Who knows where this is going to end up, but actually, you know what? I think we put it to the graveyard. I think we just want as much juice in the graveyard for the Nethergoyfs. For the Nethergoyfs as possible, basically. Goblin Lore, graveyard. And who knows, maybe we end up with a hollow one. We end up with a Bowmaster. Discarded the hollow one. Well, Detective Phoenix time. So 5 and 6. Get back the Detective Phoenix. Surveil away the bobble. Hit you for 5. Wear Tear on top. That's a good one for us. Wear Tear on top is fine. We do not really care about that. Get in, hit you down to 7. I mean, I guess maybe I keep our opponent alive because they can blow up the Phoenix for a turn. Wooded Foothills. Honestly, it sounds like a cool idea, but something that would need to be funded by a Kickstarter. That's probably true. And I don't know how it would go with like... Yeah, it would actually be a very big project. The other thing is, like, I like what I do now. Like, I like hanging out with y'all and doing a stream and making content for YouTube. So, and maybe it's just too big of a... Maybe it's just a pipe dream. Like I said, it's not something I've ever, like, seriously planned or anything. It's just something I've thought, oh, that would actually be, like, super cool. Hey, see you, Mother Frogger. I'll do my best to finish off with the 3-2. We'll do our best. Phoenix? One more Phoenix? Bloodstain, Maya. Well, let's play the land. Crack the land. Get a... So we know they have the tear, so they can blow up the... So we can't win this turn. Let's get a theater. Keep the Burning Inquiry. Run out of Bowmasters. Pang ya. Trying landfall in Timeless and getting crushed by single cards after explosive starts. First Meat Hook Massacre and then Elish Norn. Oh, is that like the Yarion 4-color like Omnath, like that landfall deck? I've seen that deck in Pioneer and it looked really cool. But it does seem like there are some Weibo Masters pre-combat, so we can Detectives Phoenix onto it and force our through some more damage. So we can exile Hollow One and actually I guess we can keep the Hollow One. Let's go Street Wraith and Lightning Bolt. So we keep all of our card types. Detectives Phoenix. Put it on the Orc Army. Burning Anchor, keep it on top. So our opponent can cast Wear to kill the Phoenix, giving haste to go to 1. I mean, I think that's the only option, right? Oh, okay. Attack. Wear doesn't do it now, though, does it? Because we already got the attack in. It doesn't... Does it fall out of combat? Is there more? What is... Huh. Okay. It's already attacking, though, now. I think it had to be pre-combat, right? If this was going to actually stop us. Oh, MTG Goldfish, remember telling you earlier this year about the band Henkin that I started listening to and suggested you check them out, either Fauna or Mountain Album. Did you ever listen to them? I forgot all about it, Naz. I don't think so. I don't remember looking it up, and wow, we got the win. All right, on to game 3. Yeah, I think that line would have worked. Oh, wait, are we playing against... Is this Brad? Isn't Control Freak? I'm pretty sure that's Brad Nelson. Well, I don't know. I was going to say I thought that the line would work if you blew up the enchantment pre-combat, but Brad is really good at Magic, so I'm pretty sure he knew what he was doing there. No, that's the Death Shadowed guy. Oh, is it? Oh, Brad Nelson's FF Freak, right? Maybe I don't know who Control Freak is. Yeah, Brad Nelson, I think, is actually FF Freak. You're right. Hey, see you, Cyber. Thanks for hanging out. Well, here we go. Last game of the league, last game of the stream. Can we finish strong with the 3-2? Phil's a bad influence. I bought $20 of basic lands for my Cruel Claw deck. I mean, basic lands are like the prettiest cards in the deck. The thing I like about buying basics that I like, and you can go way too crazy and buy, basics that are $20 a piece or hundreds of dollars a piece. That's ridiculous. But the thing I like about getting basics that I like, that I think makes it worth it, is you're always going to be able to use them. Like, a basic that you really love and looks really good today, you are very likely going to be able to use next week, next year, 10 years from now, and still get the use out of them. So I think it's actually like, as far as aesthetics go, 2 hollow ones, but no way to fill the graveyard. I think as far as aesthetics go, it's actually a really good investment. As far as finances, unlikely you're going to get your money back unless it's like Guru lands or something, but I think we got a mulligan. All right. Hollow and Burning Inquiry, Detective Phoenixes. There are ways that this could work. We will see. Opponent. Also, no Leyline of the Guild Pact for once, which is nice. Well, Wooded Hills, crack it. Can we not discard our hollow one? I feel like we always discard the hollow one here. Every time, discarding the hollow one. Untap land and Burning Inquiry, spin it to win it. don't go to the graveyard. Come on. Oh, they're going to counter it? Okay. Well, if they counter it, we can't really do anything about that. Oh, nope. All right. Come on, Hollow One. Oh, okay. Well, we discarded a Hollow One, but we found a backup Hollow One. So, not the dream of double Hollow One, but also not the complete disaster of no Hollow Ones. Wow, and they got the ley line on top. That's sad news for our opponent. And they discarded a Bowmasters and a Kavu, so I guess that kind of worked out fine for us. Well, Mishra's Bobble draws us even more Mishra's Bobbles. Hey, Seth, just tuned in. What do you think of how busted Conda Rescue Beastie is from the new set? I feel like that card has potential to be broken. Like, wait, oh, are they stuck on one land? Oh, they're stuck on one land. We did it. Man, I love when it works out with this deck. I love when it works out. Okay, so we get to play a Mishra's Bobble. Crack the Mishra's Bobble. See, okay, it's a leyline binding. I mean, that is a problem eventually. We can Bloodstain Mire. Crack the Bloodstain Mire. Get a Theater for surveilling. I think we keep the Lightning Bolt. Detective Phoenix. Put it on that Hollow One. Actually, do we even? Yeah, I guess we do. Detective Phoenix on the Hollow One. We might as well just get as much damage as we can while your opponent's not doing anything. 6 ya. Flying. Haste. Hollow One to the face. Pound it to 13. We will pass the turn. We will draw a bolt. Opponent. We know what they're drawing. It's a leyline binding. They don't have the colors for it yet, and things are looking kind of good. Things are looking kind of good for the Hollow Ones. An opponent scoops. What did we learn about this deck? I don't know if this is actually the lesson we should be taking away from this 3-2, but the big lesson is not that Hollow One's busted. No. Although Hollow One did, I mean, it's Hollow One. It does really cool things sometimes. The big lesson is 2 of our 3 wins actually just came from mana screwing our opponent with Burning Inquiry. Is Burning Inquiry way better than people give it credit for? Because that was really all of our wins. Not all of them, but half of our wins were just like Burning Inquiry, our opponent discards too many lands. Well, we're not going to complain. If you play Hollow One, I mean, it's all about getting a little lucky. So let's open our one super lucky Burning Inquiry treasure chest. It is very slot machine-y. It is a little bit slot machine-y. Well, here we go. Treasure chest 1 of 1. Give us something good. Shivan Hellkite. I feel like this card's been slightly power grabbed a little bit. 7 mana, 5/5, 1 damage to any target. Whew. Yeah, this would cost, what would this cost today? 5? Probably 5. Righteousness. Target blocking creature gets +7/+7. You are not going to get through that, that's for sure. And Hostage Taker, originally able to go infinite with itself, quickly eroded. Okay, not the best treasure chest. Well, that was a wild league. So we got a taste of Modern. Modern, I mean, matchups actually relatively diverse. We played Dimir Murktide, we played Energy Control, we played 2 Storms, and then we played then we just played our last matchup against the domain style deck. So relatively diverse, didn't play against any energy somehow. The deck itself, I feel like Detective's Phoenix really changes the equation, as does Nethergoyf. I think earlier we focused mostly on Phoenix. Nethergoyf is actually like co-captain or whatever. Like, it is really big. We had a lot of games where Nethergoyf was just a 6/7 for 1 on like turn 2 or turn 3. It gets really big really fast in this deck. And then Phoenix to haste it in, it gives the deck another line of attack. I think the deck's missing the One Ring. I kind of think that any deck's better with the One Ring, although I will say 18 lands, I don't know how many games we actually got up to 4 lands. I'd have to go back and look, but more than half the time, I don't think we ever got to 4 lands, so that would be the only concern. But yeah, the deck's really sweet. If you got the old Hollow One deck and are looking for a way to upgrade it or something, I think this is a pretty reasonable option, and it's still really fun. Yes, some games you're just going to lose because you discard the wrong things. Some games you're going to win because your opponent discards the wrong things, but that's part of the fun of embracing the Hollow One experience. But anyway, everyone, on that note, that brings us to the end of our stream for today. So reminders on the way out the door, then I gotta go get the Bearby. Replay YouTube, that's where you'd find the old streams, including this one in the future. Normal YouTube, spoiler videos finishing up this week, new set stuff coming up next week. So a ton of stuff on the YouTube. One more reminder that our sponsor today, yeah, I actually pulled it up this time. I pulled it up, so I got it here for after the stream. I will definitely pull it up this time, Naz. In our sponsor today is Card Kingdom. If you need some magic cards, you get them at over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. Most importantly, thank you to all of you. Y'all are amazing and awesome and spectacular. And I love y'all so very much. I hope you have an amazing night. Have a great afternoon. Enjoy the rest of Dustmore and Spoilers. And I'll see you next week for some more fun. So until then, be good, everyone. And I will talk to you soon. Hey, thanks, Paul. I'm glad. Yeah, the Andy episode was super fun. I'm glad you liked it. All right, later, everyone.